welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge, and this is your Manchester United versus Liverpool watch-along, the final game of the US Tour. I hope you're all excited for this one. I certainly am. It's a big game for Manchester United, and we're ready to go. We're ready to go. We've also got the unveiling of the stand-up desk, because M. Parker has done a super chat saying, have you ever thought about getting a stand-up desk? I've got a stand-up desk, and you will see it in all its duty in a moment. But first of all, we've got Manchester United against Liverpool, of course. The team news is out. I'm not too sure if I can get it up on the screen for you yet. Actually, I can. Let's get it up. There you go. So that's how Manchester United are going to line up. We'll go through the Liverpool team in a moment. But it's interesting, actually, because James Ducker has just come out and said this, that Manchester United's manager, Erik ten Hag, well, I'll read exactly what he said, because I think it's, well, I don't know whether it's contradictory, but it's a bit weird. He said, Harry Maguire, who is not in the squad at all, and neither is Anthony, but Harry Maguire is a surprise omission. So he says Harry Maguire's absence against Liverpool is a precaution. Ten Hag clearly taking no chances with the fitness of his centre-backs after Yoro's injury. United's joint bid for De Ligt and Mazraoui was rejected by Bayern Munich on Thursday. Well, I haven't got a problem with that, apart from the fact who's playing at right back. I mean, on the one hand, you're not taking a risk on Harry Maguire because you've had an injury to Yoro. On the other hand, you want Mazraoui. Wan-Bissaka is ready to go to West Ham and you're starting him for the second time in 3 days. I don't get it. I don't get that. Maybe I'm a little bit different to everybody else, but I just don't get that. Why would you play Wan-Bissaka twice in 3 days when you're selling him and you really want a replacement? I don't get it. But apart from that, obviously Maguire can't play, so Evans comes in. Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Evans, Amas, Casemiro, Collier, very happy to see Collier there. Mount, very happy to see him there. I don't even actually, come to mention it, Eriksen's another name I completely forgot. I know Scott McTominay's on the bench. He might be a little bit concerned with that as to why he's on the bench over Collier. But no, Eriksen is on the bench as well. So Eriksen and McTominay on the bench, which I would prefer, to be honest with you. And Ahmad, Sancho and Rashford, although we believe that Sancho's playing as false nine. Rashford, obviously, not as serious as Anthony. Anthony's not in the squad at all. Rashford will start for Manchester United, as we can see. So, look, I don't... Gustav says, I've got a funny feeling we'll win today. Well, look, I mean, we play Man City this time next week. We'll have played them because we play Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock in the Community Shield. They're currently beating Chelsea 4-1 after an hour. Chelsea's lineup is Sanchez, James, Tosin, Colwill, Gusto, Casido, Lavia, Fernandez, Dewsbury Hall, Mudryk and Nkunku. It's quite a strong Chelsea side. Man City is Ortega, Lewis, Phillips, Vardiel, Wilson, Esbrand, Kovacic, O'Reilly, McAtee, Bob, Grealish and Haaland. So it's nowhere near Man City's best side. It's quite near Chelsea's best side, and they're losing 4-1. So... yeah, I mean, anything can happen in pre-season, I suppose. That team of Man United is more than capable of beating Liverpool. There's no doubt about it. Liverpool's lineup for today, I will give it you. Their bench is pretty much like ours. It's not fantastic, but their starting lineup goes like this: Keller hitting goal, Bradley and Tsimikas as the fullbacks. They've then got Konate and Kwanzaa at centre-back. I would say it'll be Jones and Gravenberch as the pivot. Then I would imagine it will be Elliott and Jota as the 10 and the false 9. And then Salah and Carvalho as the wide players. I'm sure Szoboszlai played last week for them, but I don't know whether he's picked up an injury because he's not on their bench. On their bench, the only players that I would know of note would be Endo, Bjakušić, and that's about it, really. So their bench is not that strong. There's no Szoboszlai. So it's quite a strong first 11 for Liverpool. It'd be interesting to see if they do what we do. We're expecting that Manchester United will stick with this team for at least 60 minutes and then move on from there. But, no Szoboszlai for Liverpool, so I presume he might be injured. I am being reliably informed, and you are correct, Anthony is on the bench for Manchester United. Manchester United's bench is Heaton, Vitek, Bennett, Fish, Murray, Eriksson, Fletcher, Hannibal, Mata, McTominay, and Oyedele, Scanlon, Anthony, and Wheatley. So we probably will see Anthony. And I tell you what, it's a bloody good job Anthony is fit today, because I think Anthony's in big trouble for Manchester United. I've got a funny feeling we're going to keep Jadon Sancho. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. It's funny how we mentioned that Jadon Sancho hasn't really done anything publicly, and then he's done an interview with MUTV today. So I just get the feeling that we are being fed back into Jadon Sancho. If he's ahead of Anthony, I just don't know what Anthony's season's going to be, because if he's behind Sancho, he's fifth choice winger, isn't he? So, yeah. Who's the big guest? Okay, without further ado, let me hit number 2. Watch what's about to happen. For the first time ever, we will now have Goldbridge doing watch-alongs, not sat down anymore. This is what it's like in... Oh, where we're gone? Oh, my God. This is what I would like be in a pub. So this is what it's going to be like from now on. With a watch-along, I will literally be stood up and able to move around, which is going to be absolutely a game changer. You get to see other levels of the shelves. You get to see me standing up. And when the back needs a bit of a stretch, there's no more headless stuff or anything like that. It's as simple as that. So we're ready to go, aren't we? Actually, I might have a bit of a stand-up just for a bit. But this is going to be a game changer this season. This is, we're always looking for evolution, aren't we, on the United stand? And I just think that, there's so many games that I watch for Manchester United where it's really stressful and you sat down. And I've been doing this for 10 years, sat down, and I'm just like, I don't watch a game sat down. Nobody watches a game sat down in a pub, do they? So to be able to be stood up and watching watch-alongs in future, it is an evolution, Horizon, and it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to it. I will still sit down for most of the shows, but I just think for the actual watch-alongs to be able to move around a bit, because I'm one of those people that normally when I'm in a pub watching a game, I'm moving around. I'm sort of like going, put the ball in, and it's really difficult when you sat down. So could be a game changer. Big shout out to Secret Lab. My chair is Secret Lab. This is the Secret Lab Magnus Pro that I'm using. They've got quite a different range, but I went with the Secret Lab in the end of the day, and I'm very happy with it. Spent most of the day building it, to be honest. Well, no, it didn't take long to build. It took about 15 minutes. Came in a couple of big packages. Took me about 15 minutes to build it, but took me about 3 hours to dismantle the old wooden one and tidy up my room a little bit. So, yeah, very happy with it. Now it is the United stand, says Freddie. Well, you've just took my joke. Thanks. See ya. Freddie's fucking ruined it. Thanks, Freddie. You prick. No, I hadn't thought of that. It's a good one. Release the cracking mark, says Andy Wilson. Comparing McTominay to O'Shea was really stupid, says Sven. I think the player who is very similar to O'Shea is Nacho from Real Madrid, who has also played in every position. Good point. Cheers from Japan. Get one of those padded standing workstations. They are game changers too. Just saying. What's one of them, Sashi? What's a padded standing workstation? Well, I want to know what one of them is. Padded standing workstation. Oh. What do you do on that then? Oh, now then, that does look good. Anyway, Alex, thanks for your super chat. Thoughts on Harvey Elliott? I think he'll be a breakout player this season. Sajid, well, this is not Liverpool stand, it's the United stand. Freddie says now it's the United stand. Harry Amas, biggest test yet, says Muriad. Yeah, well, I think this is really, there's a lot of intelligence in the chat as normal tonight, because I absolutely agree with you. I think that when it comes down to it, Amas will be up against Mo Salah. So this is really very clever from Erik ten Hag to be able to give him that opportunity against a player who I think is one of the greatest players in the Premier League. So, I mean, I know it's pre-season, but it will be a good test for him. Robert McCormack says, I'm so glad he's resting Scott for the City game, and have a funny feeling we will win big, says Gustav. How's your day been, mate, says Harrison. Very good. Had a great day. Ash says, stand up. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in, by the way. Do you get nervous before games, Mark, says Dino. No, not really. I mean, sometimes I do. I mean, Nou Camp 99, massively nervous, and there have been games. But I think over the last 10 years, you can tell that we're not anywhere where we need to be, because I'm not going to get nervous about playing for fourth. I'm not going to get nervous about an FA Cup quarter-final. You know, when you've seen such riches, it's difficult to get excited about, you know, things like that. I mean, it's great to win the FA Cup. It's great to win the Carabao Cup. It's great to win the Europa League, but it's even better to win the Premier League, and that's where we should be aiming. You put me in a Champions League semi-final, yeah, I'll get nervous. You put me in a, you know, last 2 or 3 games of the season when you're going for the title, I'll get nervous. But that's where the nerves should be. I don't agree with getting nervous about where we've been over the last 10 years. I get frustrated. I never realised how large that shelving unit is behind you, says Odar. Well, that's what she said. It is massive. It is massive. And actually, today, I've had to figure out how to fill all the fucking shelves up, to be honest, because I have got a lot of football stuff, but I was putting a lot of stuff up on the top shelves that you never saw. Not porn or anything like that, but there was stuff like, well, it's all down here. Like, I hope no family are watching, because whoever bought Seb that for Christmas, he ain't built it. It's been up there. But I tell you what, this is a bloody good. We got this for Christmas. We've not played it since Christmas. That is a very good game. It's interactive. It's very good. Very, very good. This is one of the best board games ever. Hotel, better than Monopoly in my opinion. And the creme de la menthe of board game. Well, it's not even a board game. Look at that. Look at that classic Keno 2001 edition Substitutions. So that was all up there really. But yeah, all cleaned up now. I never loving seeing you stand up and moving around, says Outdoor Adventures. Well, if you ever remember, I used to do, there was about 6 months when I moved into the house before this, where I didn't have a room to stream from. So I used to do, it was in the summer, I used to have the red polo shirt with the old Star United stand badge on it. That whole summer transfer window, I remember I was standing up, and I always missed it, because I think when you're standing up, it's you're a little bit more energetic as well. I'll tell you what I said on the 8 o'clock show. How long before the imitators get stand-up desks? I'll tell you what, it's going to be the evolution of live fan channel media, because we always evolve. We're always the trendsetters. I guarantee you, people will be getting stand-up desks now. We've started another trend. Get a mattress and do a watch-along laying down, says Parker. Thank you very much for that. So let's... we spoke about the Liverpool lineup. That's the Man United lineup. What I want to see from Manchester United tonight, though, is... I did a video on That's Football today about Arne Slot. And if you've not watched it, basically, there's a lot of people that don't really understand why Liverpool went for Arne Slot. And there are 3 big reasons, really. They've not bought anybody yet. Arne Slot at PSV is a bit like Erik ten Hag in the sense that he's got a lot of European experience with Feyenoord, sorry, not PSV. He's got a lot of experience with Feyenoord in Europe. He won the Cup last year, he won the Eredivisie the year before that. And he's very experienced in working without a budget, and his style of football is high intensity, high chance creation, possession football, entertaining. Now, if you're going to go from Jurgen Klopp to somebody, Liverpool wanted continuity because Jurgen Klopp went too soon. That team that Liverpool he was building a team last year, essentially. Klopp went because he'd had enough. He was stressed. He was tired. That team hadn't reached its, he was building a team there. So they wanted to bring somebody in that wasn't going to break it all down and rebuild it. They wanted somebody to come in that could pick it up and run with it. Now, I think it's going to be very interesting because we saw Sir Alex Ferguson go and we saw what happened. So I think there's a lot of people thinking that Liverpool will probably fail. But looking at it, and I did a video on That's Football about it because we were playing them. So I was this week doing a bit of research about them. And it actually led to me doing a video on That's Football because I was just like, actually, I think Liverpool might here have done something really intelligent. Obviously, Liverpool don't like to spend a lot of money, but I don't know whether they need to spend a lot of money. They've got a manager who's come in who plays a really good brand of football. And I think that's what I'm looking at tonight with them. It's very different to Manchester United. I mean, the lazy journalists tomorrow morning, if we lose, will be saying things like, Slot's only been there a few minutes and he's already got them playing good football. Ten Hag's not done it after 2 years. But it's a very different circumstance because he's inheriting a Klopp squad, which I think Klopp would have fought for the title this year if he'd stayed another year. So I think it's a really interesting Liverpool squad. And what I'm looking at tonight is how can we live with them in style of football tonight? Because we're nowhere near our best Manchester United side, and he's probably not near his best Liverpool side. And we play them third game. So I'm interested just to see, Rashford's looking very happy. I think the squad does look happy, which is interesting to me. I mean, Rashford's got the people around him again, hasn't he? He's the star of the team at the moment because there's no Garnacho, there's no Bruno. So he's really happy at the moment. He's got his best mate Sancho with him as well. So, there's an opportunity there for these players to go out and do something and send a bit of a message. But I'm interested to see just how it works possession-wise with Manchester United tonight. Can we get hold of the ball? Can we, create a lot of chances? Or are we going to concede the ball and look to counter-attack, which is what we seem to have done for the last 10 years? So I'm very interested to see how it's going to work for Manchester United tonight. I never realised how large that I've done that super chat, by the way. Hope he gets the same abuse Erik ten Hag got since he came to Old Trafford. Don't think so, says Shane Simpson. How you call people lazy and continue to chat about people looking happy, says Thomas. Well, Thomas, I don't know what you're on about. Go to bed. People who stand all day with vertical workstations, use them, makes their day standing better. Feet, back, joints, all appreciate it, says Sashi. Thank you very much. Could you say happy birthday to my friend Devonte? Thank you very much. Happy birthday to Devonte. What are your thoughts on this team? Look, if I'm being completely blunt, and I'll give you my honest opinion, I'm a bit concerned because I think that, well, look, let's just be completely honest. When I look at Manchester United at the moment and I look at that team next to me on the left, if you spoke to, well, I think if you spoke to Ineos or Ten Hag at the start of June, there's no way Jadon Sancho's part of the plans. There's no way that Scott McTominay's part of the plans. There's no way Wan-Bissaka's part of the plans. And there's no way that, well, to be fair, Scott McTominay might have been part of the plans as the bench, but Sancho wouldn't have been, Wan-Bissaka wouldn't have been, Maguire wouldn't have been, and Lindelof wouldn't have been, and Casemiro wouldn't have been. So that's 5 players. 2 weeks out from Fulham, I think Sancho, Casemiro, Lindelof, Maguire are all part of the plans. So I don't think that we are where we wanted to be. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to individualise it because at the end of the day, why not give somebody a 6th, 5th, 3rd, 7th, 8th, 9th chance at Manchester United? Because some of those are definitely on that. It's not a second chance. It's like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th chance, isn't it? So I don't think this is where Ineos want to be. I don't think it's where Ten Hag wants to be. I think it's where we are. And, that worries me a little bit. But we almost forget why we're in this position. It's not because of Sir Jim Radcliffe, and it's not because of Erik ten Hag, and it's not because of Jadon Sancho, and it's not because of Harry Maguire, and it's not because of Casemiro, and it's not because of Lindelof. It's because of the Glazers. That's why we are where we are. I'm a little bit worried about this season because it feels to me like we're going into it using players that we already know aren't good enough. And that, to me, is a bit of a concern. But then again, I look at what Arthur is saying in the chat, and he says the tour ends today, finally. As I said on the 8 o'clock show, I mean, I think the tour has been interesting. Obviously we've got Beth and Ryan out there, and I speak to them multiple times a day. And if I hadn't have had the book out, I think I probably would have been there myself. And I think from going over to America and, it's a great experience and everything like that. But when you look at it from a purely Manchester United point of view, I don't even want to say this because I really do value us going out there. But it's been a bad tour. It has been a bad tour. Simply because Rasmus and Yoro have ended up with long-term injuries. That destroys the tour in itself. But also, we haven't done any transfer business on the tour. And secondly to that, we're using the same players that we were using 2 years ago. So I think, there is a desire to get back from this tour and hope that the transfer window kickstarts a bit. Because apart from Ahmad and apart from Amas and apart from Collier, I don't really think there's anything that's come out of this tour that you'd really look back on and go, it's worked out, really. I don't even think from a pre-season preparation point of view it's going to matter that much, because when I look at when we play Fulham, I can think of Martinez, Dalot, Luke Shaw, Mainu, Bruno, Xerxes, Garnacho. I can think of 7 players that will start that haven't even been on this tour. So, yeah, I think it is what it is. There's been tours in the past where hardly any of the first team go because we've had a World Cup. So I get that. But I think the injuries, I think the lack of transfer activity, it's just been a bit meh. But I think what it has done is it's highlighted we're probably not going to get everything we needed to get done this summer transfer window, and there's a hell of a lot more to do. Adrian Armstrong, morning, Mark. Hello from the Gold Coast, Australia. Thank you. I tell you what, I know we're going to... we've got a match, haven't we? So I will stand up for the match. So I'm just going to sit down as it comes down. I just press the button and it goes where I want it to go. So I'll just sit down for a little bit and then we'll go back. Loving the bookmark, have the Audible, and it's perfect for work, although I look like a bit of a weirdo laughing by myself, says Mike. Thank you very much for buying the book, mate, Mike. I bet Ahmad scores tonight, says Mariaki. Look, I hope we get a bit of a good game. As I said, Man City Chelsea, it's currently 4-1 with, I don't know how long is to go in that game, 10 minutes to go. Man City have started making a few subs now, but after an hour, they'd only made 1 sub. So what I want to see from Manchester United, and hopefully from Liverpool as well, is I would like to see both teams keep that starting lineup on for at least 65 minutes. Because, to be honest with you, every other pre-season game has been a little bit dull when you start to see all those substitutions. So I'm looking forward to it. Marty says better sitting down. Well, it's not up to you. I'm not here for your visuals, mate. I can say this because it's midnight. I'm not here for you to get excited. I'm here for my viewing enjoyment. When I watch a match, I like to stand up a bit. I might not do it for the whole 90 minutes, don't worry. But there will be sections where I go, right, I'm going to stand up for a little bit because it's good to do that. I just love this channel. Have a great football day, everyone, says Christian. That's lovely, isn't it? Om says, it's 5 in the morning here in India. I've been awake the entire night. Let's get the win and build some momentum and not get any injuries. Well, yeah. I didn't even want to mention the I word, Om. I mean, we don't want to see McTominay or Wan-Bissaka get injured. We certainly don't want to see any of the first team like Rashford or Ahmad or Casemiro or Evans or whoever you think's a first team player getting injured either. But I tell you what's really important. Do you think you can read something into that starting lineup wherever it is? It's not. It was there and now it's not. Do you think we can read something into that starting lineup in the sense that Collier, this is the starting team? Like, this is the team that he, on this tour, feels is his best 11 at the moment. Now, obviously, I think Yoro would be playing, Rasmus would be playing, but that's his best team on the tour. I don't think there's any doubt about that at the moment. That is Erik ten Hag's best team on the tour. And if that's his best team on the tour, then Collier's ahead of McTominay. I think we've had hints of that against Arsenal, but I think we can definitely say at this moment in time, Collier is ahead of McTominay. And if that is the case, then if you are Scott McTominay, you've probably got to be looking at that Fulham bid and going, hey up, I probably do fancy a bit of that. Adrian says, morning, Mark. Hello from the Gold Coast, Australia. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. It's the last... I mean, I'm a bit sad, actually, because I really enjoy the tour. And I enjoy getting up and watching the games at this time. I mean, look, for 9 months of the year, a lot of you do this. We do it for about 2 weeks. And this is the last time we're doing it on this tour. Who knows whether we'll be back in the States next year. But it's currently coming up for midnight in the UK. And I think it's going to be about 20 minutes till kickoff. Who has been the most underappreciated player for Manchester United, says Harrison? Whatever or currently. I think in this current squad, the most underappreciated player is probably Martinez. I don't think people understand. I think people understand how good he is, but I don't think people understand how, important he is in relation to the protection he provides for the number 6, the ability to play out from the back, the ability to push up. I think Martinez is a massive important player for us. Why is Slot getting so much hype? He hasn't managed a game in the Premier League yet. The real challenge is when he'll need to rebuild Klopp's roster, says United AV. Mate, it's just a prediction. Some people might think he's not that good. I think he's going to do well. I mean, we play them third game as well. We've got to win that game. Please, can I come round yours for tea, says Peter. Sorry, no invitation, I'm afraid, Peter. Mark, I'm from Swindon, says Josh. Well, we won't hold it against you. And Vincent says, is it over for Rashford at United if he doesn't perform this season? 2 bad seasons in a row might be too much. Vincent, look, I think Rashford's going to have a good season. I desperately want him to have a good season because it means Man United will have a good season. But, you know, to play devil's advocate and give the critics a bit of exposure, because there are critics, it doesn't matter if he wanted to go, and it doesn't matter if Manchester United wanted to sell him. There was a story in late April, and it was repeated again in late May, and it was from numerous journalists that wouldn't make it up. It was almost like a brief. And the only players that weren't for sale were Bruno, Rasmus, Garnacho, Mainu. So whether Man United wanted to sell Rashford or whether Rashford wanted to go, the bottom line is nobody wants to buy him. So we need him to play well because there's no market for him anyway. So if he has a bad season, where is he going to go? Like, the only outcome here, and this is because of the Glazers, is that he plays well. Because we have given him a golden contract that no one else will give him. So the only way out of this for Man United is for him to play well. There is no way out because nobody is interested in him. Nobody has inquired about Marcus Rashford. Now, I don't know whether Man United would have sold him. I don't know whether Rashford would have gone. Maybe he doesn't want to go. Maybe Man United don't want to sell him. But there is no market for him. So the only solution is for him to do well. So I would say, you know, I don't believe in positive energy, but what I do believe in is that you can get behind your players, and I think we've just got to get behind him and hope he does well for the benefit of Manchester United. Even if you don't like Rashford, just think about the goals and what they'll do for United, because it is the only outcome. Like, he ain't going anywhere. And nobody. Alan says PSG, but they weren't. I think Qatar would have been, but he can't go to Qatar at his age. So we need him to play well. I've just purchased the book, Mr. Bridge, Love from Iceland. Thank you very much, Tor. What a name. Liam says, I love what you're doing. What would you say is wrong with journalism now, as Beth has asked the only good questions on this tour of the book? Good question, Liam. Look, I'm not going to take any credit away from Beth. It was a fantastic question, and it's all in the delivery. We have always spoken, even before other people have been on the tour with the United Stand for years. We always speak before the press conference because we know you and we know what you want. And it's about how can you pose a question that's professional, because you can't walk into a press conference and say, Eric Ten Hag, why don't you pick Amad Diallo? Do you hate him? You know, you've got to think of the question. And I just think the modern journalist is lazy. I don't think they really care about Manchester United. I don't think they really care about you. And I think that's what comes across in their questions. Like, what's it going to be like to play in North Carolina? Mate, we need a bloody centre-back. We've got an injury crisis. You know, but because they don't care, they don't seem to know how to ask the right question. I think that's what it comes about. If you care, if it really matters to you, you'll naturally ask the right question, won't you? I'm starting to worry Rasmus may be injury prone, says Adrian. I don't think the evidence is there that he's injury prone, really. Don't you think a Saudi team would show interest in Rashford, says Vincent? Wouldn't be the first player going in the middle of their career. But he ain't going to go there, Vincent. He ain't going to go there. If you could buy 4 more players, who would it be, says United Axie? Well, I do want Agate. I do want De Ligt. I'd prefer Frimpong to Mazraoui, but we do need a right back. The 4th player for me, I mean, we do need a left back, but I think I would like another midfielder. Games are won and lost in the midfield. I just don't know whether I want Amrabat. I don't mind Amrabat, but I would, you know, I'd like 2 midfielders. I love the book a lot about football history, says Mez. Thank you very much for ordering it and reading it, mate. You're an absolute legend. Thank you very much. Alvarez is going to PSG, kills the Sancho deal, to be honest, says Mario Franco. Yeah, I don't think PSG want Sancho. Yeah, I don't think they do. And to be honest with you, I'd take Alvarez over Sancho as well. For anyone that hasn't read Mark's book yet, it's absolutely fantastic, says United AV. The Audible recording is tremendous. Mate, legend. Thank you very much. Standing Bridge is legendary. Hopefully no injuries tonight. Well, I'm all right. I'll do some... Oh, no, you meant the game. I'm interested how far Wan-Bissaka deal is since he's playing. Glazers out and bad hair, says B. Jean. And could you update Calder meter? Sancho out, says Brody. Not right now. And Robert McCormack says he wants Scott off the striker. Happy to see Mount, says Robert McCormack. Do you have an FPL? Could we have the code? 3QB5BB. That's only because I've got my podcast notes in front of me. Jack Ladd says, Guehi to the Toon opinions. Signing of the summer, possibly. I always watch you when Newcastle ain't playing. How much you paying, Jack, for Guehi? Because he is a good signing, but how much are you paying for him? Good you on Mark's... Sorry. This is... Goldio says, good on you, Mark. Standing desk changed my life. Easy for work from home and now got one in the office too. United-wise, let's lower expectations. Deals not getting done. And thank you very much for Goldio there. Hope you're doing well. I wish we signed Kadioglu. He is so versatile and looked really good in the Euros as HTD. I mean, I don't think looking good in the Euros is a guarantee for success. And Anish says, the time you are watching this match, we Indians have to watch Europa and midweek matches at this time. It changes from 12:30 to 1:30, says Anish. I mean, I don't mind this one as much. I think the 3 o'clock one on Wednesday was tough because I had to go to sleep and then get up. I'd rather just stay up. I mean, you do get tired, but I don't like having to go to bed and then get up. Shane Willis has just ordered a signed copy of the book. Thank you, Shane. Absolute legend. Can you wish my dad a happy retirement, Mark? Says Goldio. Happy retirement to your dad. Anders Christensen's just gifted a membership. You're a legend. Just catching up on some super chats here. Ash says, Mark, how far do you think Ahmad can go this season and beyond? I haven't felt this excited about a United player since Martial. I think Ahmad really could have a great season. I don't know whether anybody else feels like this, but I just feel that with any prediction at the moment, the one thing that comes into my mind is injury. So, you know, I try not to get too excited about a player because you just don't know what might, you know, be coming. But, you know, Ahmad's been the standout player on tour. There's no doubt about it. Mark, you're one of the main reasons why I started following this channel, but I would like to say that Beth has been doing an amazing job and I've really been enjoying the videos she's been putting out and getting better and better all the time outdoor adventures. Yeah, it's great to see and really appreciate your support. I mean, that's always been the vision of the United Stand is to, you know I do a lot of the content and I started it, but trust me, I really don't want to be doing, you know, 3 shows a day for the rest of my life. The whole point is that it's called the United Stand. So when you've got talent like that, it's really good. And, you know, we're always looking to bring other people in as well and develop others. So, yeah, very, very, very correct. Govo says, Christmas show, Dublin, Gaiety, Vicar Street, have a 1K. I've done the Vicar Street before. It's a lovely venue. I have done it before. I just was very disappointed not to get the Olympia because it was a little bit more central. United team depressing, even with those coming back, says Just Football. Thank you very much for your super chat there. So, 65 million for Guehi if it happens, says Jack. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for Guehi, that is. 2 years left on his contract. He's not going to sign a new deal. It is a lot of money. I mean, you know, if look, it's not my money. It's Newcastle's money, and if they want to pay that, then you're overpaying. But that's what you pay for an English centre-back. We've seen what Everton want for Branthwaite, haven't we? So, yeah, it's you know, it's a lot of money. This is a big stadium. This is 77,000 apparently. It's open to the elements. It has been raining. I don't know what the forecast is, but it's looking quite clear skies now. But it's the Williams Bryce Stadium, and it's Liverpool against Manchester United. You know what I was looking at the other day? Remember that game? It was 10 years ago. I can't remember where it was, when Man United played Real Madrid. Apparently there was 100,000 people there for a pre-season game in the US. We did a watch-along for that, which doesn't make sense to me because we've not been doing this 10 years until the summer. So, till Christmas. So I don't know how it can be 10 years ago. Michigan, yeah. Seeing Avram Glazer laughing pitchside during the warm-up in San Diego made me sick. Not let Ineos hype detract from what the Glazers have done, says AB. What's the Liverpool team, says Michael Arthur. I don't know whether we've got the Liverpool team yet. Let me have a quick look. We should be able to pull that through. I know what the team is, though. I remember it. So the Liverpool team is Kelleher in goal. Let me remember this. Kelleher in goal. And so Kelleher in goal, Barkley right back, Tsimikas left back, and then it's Konate and Kwanzaa at centre back. They've then got Gravenberch and Jones as their pivot, Harvey Elliott, Jota false 9, Salah on the right, Carvalho on the left. So that's how they're lining up. Screw those Scousers. Come on, United, says Ryan. Thank you very much, Ryan, for your super chat there. Game starts at 12:45. Yeah, a lot of people thought it was 12:30, but it's a 12:45 kickoff. So we've still got about 10 minutes. Apparently, there are thunderstorm warnings, and if there is a thunderstorm, the game has to be closed off for half an hour. I mean, the traffic. What is it about Americans turning up late to a game? Because this is probably going to get cut back again. The traffic they've just shown there is ridiculous. So looks like the players are coming out though. Get on with the game. People have got planes to catch. Man United are flying back straight after this. What's your view on pre-season? Do you feel it makes a difference, says Ewan? I'm conflicted on pre-season because the American audience love it. We're never going to stop doing it because every other club's doing it, from England to Spain. So I get why we do it. We're not unique. Everybody does it. But I go back to what Watto said to me, you know, former England coach. I do the football fill-in with him and Ben Foster. Said to me last summer, at the end of the day, a coach doesn't want to be travelling to the side of the world preparing their team for a new season. He wants to be sending them home each night and training them at Carrington. But this is the modern world, isn't it? We can kid ourselves, but pre-season is not the right preparation for the start of a Premier League season. It's PR. That's what this is. This pre-season is not about going to the other side of the world, playing 3 games in 9 days at 3 different locations in a massive country. Is not good preparation for the body of a footballer. This is purely PR. So I think when you see it for what it is, then I know it's quite exciting. But I don't think I think you'd have to be a bit of a prat to think that these tours, whether they're here or Asia, are the perfect preparation for high-level athletes. I mean, for a start, they're doing 2 major flights in a week and a half. Not to mention, well, they're doing more than that, aren't they? Because you're flying from LA to San Diego to North Carolina. So it's not pre-season really. It's a tour to promote your brand. But it's getting darker and darker here. I suppose it's the evening, isn't it? I just realised it is the evening in North Carolina because they are 5 hours behind. So it's coming up for 7:45 at night. I was worried about thunderstorms. I'm in Colombia. The weather looks like it can turn for the worse any moment, says Ardy. You're thinking of United versus Liverpool in 2018 in Michigan. You did the watch along for that. I thought I did the Real Madrid one as well, Frank C. Here are the players in the tunnel. They're still showing the cars of people trying to turn up. Well, their own fault. Should have turned up early. In Norway, we pay 800 something, which is £57 to watch the Premier League matches. How much does it cost in England? We don't get all the Premier League games in England, and it costs God knows what per month to get 1 game a week. Well, no, it's more than 1 game a week. Danish Ahmed says, Danesh Ahmed, sorry, there's 2 A's. Can I get a left-footed right winger like Ahmad Can a left-footed right winger like Ahmad provide good service, or will he always prioritise shooting over passing? We need service to the striker. You can, yeah. I mean, look, a lot of people play with inverted wingers and they're creative. Bram says, hi Mark, I've been watching for a while and to show my appreciation, have a pint on me. Thank you very much, Bram, for your super chat. I love that for a change, timing works for me. 7:30 p.m. in Chicago, says Neo. Thank you very much, Neo. I went to the Madrid game in Michigan. It broke a record for attendance. 116,000 people attended. That was from Mubarak. And would you prefer a winger that scores or creates? Creates, definitely, Nick. And how's it being in your shoes, odd hour matches? Sorry, how's it being in our shoes, odd hour matches to Sakin? Look, I've always, from day one, respected that our fan base around the world that get up to watch games in early hours. I mean, fucking hell, it's hard work watching some of the Moyes games or the Van Gaal games or the Ollie games, even the Mourinho games, even the Ten Hag games. Over the last 10 years, we've probably had a lot more bad games than good. You know, watching them at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning is that's dedication for you. So I've always had, a lot of respect for those fans who do it. I wouldn't want to do it for 9 months of the season, to be honest with you. But that just shows you the value and, dedication of our worldwide support. Simon Thornton, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks for getting your badge in. And American here, I looked at the radar and the thunderstorms are to the east. Rain possible, but I don't think there'll be any thunderstorms, says Owen. Thank you very much for the weather update. Ike says, I respectively disagree, Mr. Bridge, but I don't know what you're disagreeing about. Masha says, Buenos dias, Mark. Book arrived yesterday. Why no UK residents can enter the competition? Pull a few strings to get me on the list. Big up United stand, says Masha. I didn't set the competition, mate, so I don't know why that's the case. And I love that for a change, timing. I've done that one from Neo. I've met the Glazers' granddaughter. She's a prat, says Brody. I'm glad you said that. I thought you were going to say you did something else, which, we are ready to go here. Players are on the pitch. They're having a handshake. Look, what am I excited for tonight? Certainly Ahmad again, Collier, Amas. They're the three players I'm excited about. I'd like to see good performances from people like Casemiro, Mason Mount, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho. And more important than anything, I just want to see Aaron Wan-Bissaka walk off that pitch, not hobbling or anything like that. So big hopes for that. A little bit worried about how Liverpool might play. But, sometimes those worries are overstated. So let's see. Hi, Mark. My first ever super chat after watching you for 5 years is Football HQ. Back from a party. You're such a legend. What plane do you think we finish? What plane? What place do you think we finish next year? 4th. You skipped me. Could you please shout out to the students of Bangladesh for today? The government is being unfair to them. Thank you. Love you, says Farmeed. Thank you very much, Farmeed. Thanks for your super chat. Appreciate that. So Manchester City have beaten Chelsea 4-2, by the way, if you're interested in that. So there we go. Lots and lots of fans turning up late here. Don't know whether that's the way in the United States for sport. Not too sure, but late they are. But nothing's going to stop us from playing our game, that's for sure. And we are about 2 minutes away from the start, which is great to see. And they are going to get underway here at the right time, which is great. So let's see how it pans out, everybody. Ten Hag's in the tunnel. Everybody's grooving. Everybody's moving. I've got to get my timer here. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss the start. No, I'm not ready. Go on then. I changed this camera angle for a start. That pitch looks a bit wet as well. There's Arne Slot. Not Arnie Slot. I call him Arnie. I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I will call him Arnie. Apparently it's Arne. Arne Slot. But I call him Arnie Slot because I can and I will. Right, ref, let's go. He's waiting. He's waiting for 45. That's what he's doing. I've cleared the game. He's waiting. Come on. Let's be having you then. Still not ready. God, I hate it when they just wait for the bloody clock. Just get on with it, you cock. Oh, bloody day, mate. He's actually waiting for the bloody clock here. Let's do it. Football sold its soul the day it did this. Just do it, mate. God, he's been stood in the centre circle with this ball for about 90 seconds. Here we go. There we go. Lovely stuff. We're up and running now. So, Liverpool took the kick-off. And they're up in our half at the moment, but United have won it back. Nice into Casemiro. He'll be open for a good performance. Gets the ball wide to Rashford. There are areas of the pitch that are a bit wet. Good play by Collier. Likes to play with his socks down, Collier. Hi, Mark. Which game do you think altogether is more important, this game or the game against City? Oh, the game against City, Max. It's in the UK. It's the week before the start of the season. We've got a lot of key players back. Thought you were going to stand up, Mark, says D. I will in a minute. Are you afraid of Onana? Oh, nice ball out by Onana there. Are you afraid of Onana doing big mistakes this season, says Anders? I think it's a big season for Onana. But it's a big season for Mount, isn't it? J.E. and others. Rashford, as has been mentioned before. Enjoy the channel, says J.E. Would like your opinion. If you had to guess what transfer is more likely, would you say Ugarte or De Ligt? I think both will happen. I'd say Ugarte is more likely. Oh, that's a bad ball into... look at the press from Liverpool. Standing Bridge, hope you're well, Mark. Congratulations on the book. Transfer window is 4 out of 10 so far. We started with such promise and it's fizzled out. We'll end up with maximum 6 out of 10, says Slippy Stevie G. I'm so excited about the season. I bought a home Bruno Fernandes and away Garnacho and third Martinez kit. Feeling so positive, says Sakin. There you go. And as an American, I can say punctuality is not an American value, says Billy Thomas. Casemiro staying then, says Harvey Specter. There's a difference between staying up for pre-season versus actual meaningful games. People need to stop moaning, says Goldio. My apologies if I missed the announcement, but what did you all end up naming the new puppy? Lila, says Outdoor Adventures. Sorry, it was Lila. What about Start United in other language, says Paramivar. And hi, Mark. Thank you very much. We've done that one as well. We're all caught up. It was raining just crazy a couple of hours ago, says RD. And hi, Mark. Which game do you think altogether? I've done that one. Thank you. Great. The timer is right for me. So you can say fix the timer all you like, but you're probably ahead because that's what happens sometimes. Actually, I think I'm even further behind now. I'm about 10 seconds behind now. Thanks for that, you twat, in the chat. I refreshed it, and now I'm 10 seconds behind what I was. I can't stand people in the chat who start talking about bloody timers, because I was actually a lot further ahead than I am now. I have got to adjust it now. I was way ahead, and now it's bloody. Now I've lost another. I've just lost 8 seconds because I refreshed it. Twat. Whoever that was in the chat, you're an absolute twat. I'm not on 3:44 now. I'm now on 3. What am I on now? 40, 54, 55, 56. There we go. Twat of the chat, says Michael King. Yeah, I don't know why those people bother watching this channel, because you're worthless. Like, you're an absolute twat, because we've been doing this for 10 years and the whole point of the timer is that's where I am on the stream. So that's where I am. If you're 20 seconds ahead, I'm not Michael J. Fox. Like, I watch what I watch. I can't make it be behind or quicker. That's where the timer is for me. So it's all right saying the timer's wrong. It can't be wrong because I'm watching the game at that point. It might not match with you, but you're not watching my stream. So it can't be wrong, can it? It just doesn't match with you. Right, I'm going to stand up now. I can't stand. It does take a little bit of time. Yeah, I will talk about the game now. I'm actually quite hot tonight. I don't know. I'm not normally that hot. But okay. So, long ball over the top. Anana's there. Sweeper keeper should take a touch. Lovely. Nicely into Evans, and now Amas. He does that a lot, Amas. I've noticed that a lot. Have you noticed that a lot? I've noticed that a lot. Amas's first touch, sometimes he overhits it. He's got to work on that. Very, very good player, but when he knocks it out of his feet, he sometimes overruns it, and he's got to learn about that, because we've lost possession because of that. But good interception there by Rashford, who wins a free kick. Calling all the stars that fall. It's nice to be able to stand up, actually. I just think it allows me to focus a little bit more. What are those bushes next to the pitch? Americans never fail to surprise me when it comes to football, says Lucas. And if you had to pick one, Rashford or Nani, says James. God, that's a horrible one. I'm going to get clipped up either way on that. Lee Berman's just downloaded the audio book to go with the book. Lee, you're a legend. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in. I do feel that Rashford is above Nani, but I feel I'll get criticised for that. I mean, Nani was very good, but he was inconsistent. So I would say Rashford, to be honest. Good interception there by Ahmad again, and then we've lost the ball. But good tenacity there from Ahmad. Easy says Collier's proper up for it. Here he is, Collier. Nice ball into, good shots, and it was Mount. Good play by Collier there. Good play by Collier there. And Mount did quite well. Ahmad's just gone down with a bit of a knock. Just waiting to see what's up. If Ahmad's all right, I think he just caught one in the face. But interesting shot. Hi Mark from Scotland. Hope you're well. Love your channel, says Calvin. Thank you very much, Calvin. Appreciate that. Do you think Mount will succeed this year, says James? I think with regards to Mason Mount, it's really just about, can he get enough game time? I mean, Bruno will start in the 10 position. There's no way Mount's going to be ahead of him, and he shouldn't be ahead of him. Bruno's better than Mount. So it's about whether he can get... whether whether he can get game time, isn't it? I mean, I think there's plenty of opportunity for him to get game time. You know, you've got to rotate. There will be injuries, as we know. But I think Mason Mount's got to make himself able to play in numerous positions. Here's Liverpool on the attack. Salah. And Liverpool's still going to pick this up on the far side. Oh, he's done him there. And that's 1-0 to Liverpool. I mean, I think Casemiro just got sent back to Brazil there. If that's Casemiro, he's absolutely mugged him off. 1-0 to Liverpool. They've cut, the camera's cut to Amas, but I don't think Amas has got anything to do with this. Bottom corner, it's Carvalho who scores it. I'd love to see this back because it looks soft. Yeah, Casemiro. That's just... look, it's pre-season, but I'll say what I've said before. He's 350k a week, and people want to keep that. Mario Franco says he literally explained us all how he lost his legs. Sammy Walls, welcome to Members Club. Do you think United are now willing to let McTominay go because of Collier's emergence, says Duncan? I hope so. Also, hi Mark, love all your content you make. Seem like a nice guy. Quick question, what's your book about? I'm interested in buying it, says Cattle. I haven't got time, mate. I really haven't. I'm just watching the game at the moment. I'm trying to think at 1 o'clock in the morning what my book's about. Well, it's just about it's just about stories about football, really. You know, yeah, it's just about my life in football and, you know, anecdote stories. Sammy Walls, welcome to the Members Club. Appreciate that. And you have to get rid of one forever. I've played the game or we're in. Yeah, get rid of that one, Jay. And yeah, I'm just a little bit pissed off with that goal, really. I know it's only pre-season, but it's just fucking lazy. It's just lazy. It's the same thing we saw at the end of last season. It's like there's a big mistake in Casemiro every bloody game, and it costs you a goal. Remember Palace, where Elise scored and he got done on the halfway line. Burnley, where he heads it back to Onana. Arsenal, where he keeps everyone on side. It's just there's always an issue. I am standing up, yes, Ryan. I've got a stand-up desk, so I'm stood up at the moment. Good interception there by, I think that was Evans. Right, here's Rashford with a bit of space. Look at the pace from Amas on the overlap. Should have given it him straight away. Held on to it for too long. Again. That's fucking... Look, nice ball over the top. Good save by Kelleher. Oh, I think that was Mason Mount, wasn't it? Muzz says, I'm not sure it was Casemiro's fault. You know these, mate? You need a pair. Here's Collier. I'll tell you what, it's not... it's a bit unlucky with the cross. No one's there and Kelleher jumps on it. I'm not sure it's Casemiro's fault. Fucking hell, mate. You need a white stick. Katie Creedy, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Tiamo says Salah versus Kanchelskis. I'm sorry, loved Kanchelskis, but it's definitely Salah. MUTV says Casemiro doesn't usually get beaten that easily. Do they see what everyone else does, says Chris. Well, I could say MUTV doesn't normally get anything right because they're up the arse of the player, aren't they? It's a club channel. They can't say anything negative. Come on, Liverpool, says Joe Fishing. Fans should get off Casemiro's back. Wan Bissaka is as much guilty. If he committed and it's a penalty, you still blame him. It's no Maguire. Now it's Casemiro, says King. It's called opinion, mate. You love Casemiro. Well done. I think he's at fault for the goal. Deal with life. People have different opinions to you. It's not hate because somebody doesn't have the same opinion as you. So grow up. You look tall for 5'6", says M. Parker. Please say hi to my boyfriend Miguel. He loves your channel, says Sammy. Thank you. Welcome, Miguel. Well, thank you. And hello to Miguel. Man United or Chelsea, worst season, Mark, this season, says Jacob. Neither of us have bloody played a game yet. You can't judge off pre-season, mate. We haven't even got most of our team. Soft goal by United, though. Soft goal to concede by United, but we have not done too badly. Here we go. Casemiro into Sancho. He's playing as a false nine. Not noticed much of Sancho so far. Good interception there. Unlucky. That was a good tackle by Casemiro, to be fair. Omar, I'll do you a favour. Do one. If you don't like it, don't watch. Already looks like a big loss. Too early for that. We had that chance from Mount. We can get back into it, but you know, Liverpool do look. I mean, I mentioned this in That's Football. They're doing exactly what I said on That's Football. Their centre backs are just playing central passes into a double pivot, and if the double pivot's marked, they'll play it into the secondary line, which is Elliott or Jota. So what Liverpool do under slots is Kanate or Kwanzaa will have it, and they'll look to feed Gravenberch or Jones, who play as a double pivot. And if they're occupied, they've got fullbacks, and if they're occupied, they'll try and hit a longer pass into Harvey Elliott or Jota, who will drop to receive it. And if that's occupied, they'll look at a longer ball into Cavallo or Salah. I'm currently on a night shift watching, says Sean. When I used to work night shifts, I'd always watch a film. There's been a different buzz and a more optimistic outlook on how we're going to do this season. Come on, United. We need a supporting winger, says Brandon. Good interception there by Liverpool. And here we go. Oh, no. You don't want Salah running at you like that. Good interception by Amas. He's in for a test tonight, Amas, isn't he? That's good play by Rashford. Oh, he's left him for dead there. Go on. Go on, then. Into Sancho. Does well to win it back. Rashford go wide. Here's Ahmad. Needs some help. Lays it back. Wan-Bissaka's cross is aimless and shite. That's a shame because Rashford did well there. But that cross from Wan-Bissaka is crap. Absolute crap. Greetings from Taiwan, Mark. Mazraoui was solid last night against Spurs. When do you think the deal will come through? Start of next week, I would think. And greetings from Taiwan. I've done that one. Item says, I love Mount, but he's not technical enough to be a Bruno alternative. His best attribute is his work rate. Even then, Bruno is equal to it. Dino says we might get smashed. I don't think we will. Any tips on how to trim the grass? My yard is small, says Jacob. Yeah, I'm not going to really be entertaining those sort of things. I know some people think it's funny, but we are trying to do a watch along here. We are trying to prepare for a new season, so let's have a bit of decorum. Have you seen Kanchelskis recently? He got punched in a bar a few weeks ago. Pictures online. I had no idea who it was, says Chris. Well, he's got to be in his 50s, hasn't he now? Channel YouTube says, Anana makes simple saves, looks dramatic and gets credit. 25,000 people watching. Bloody hell. I didn't realise that. Absolute legends. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Don't know what we're doing for subscribers. 904 on the road to 1 point. We're 10 subscribers away from 905. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the United stand. Hopefully a big week to come with some signings ahead of the Manchester derby in the Community Shield, which is basically the pinnacle of a pre-season game. David Murphy's just gifted 5 memberships. You're a legend. And Sam Byron says, Mark, I'm so grateful for all the streams. Thank you. Lars Christensen says, Toby and Ahmad seem like 2 new signings. He's everywhere, Toby. Agate, Toby and Kobe behind Bruno. Mohammed says, my yard is massive. I have issues trimming it. Lovely stuff. Matt's been on the beers all night. Is Liverpool just passing out from the back? There's that pass into the pivot again. Just watch Liverpool here. Look, centre-back is going to look for... Pass into the pivots on again. There we go. Look, Curtis Jones completely unmarked. Tell you what, he's not controlling the ball though very well. That's a good interception again. Here's Ahmad. Oh. Liverpool come away with Jota into Harvey Elliott. Now it's Salah up against Amas. Past him. Goes for a shot straight at Anana. I like Mazraoui, but I would have preferred Frimpong, says Joe. Yeah, me too. And Dan Simpson says, I've been very ill over the past month and your relentless coverage has kept me going as always. Well, I hope you're getting better soon, Dan. He says he loves the community as well. Mark, what gets you excited about life, says Brandon. Lots of things. It's a gift. Mike, score doesn't reflect how well we've played, says Mike. No, I think it's been quite an equal game, yeah. I wouldn't disagree with Mike on that. Liverpool took their chance because of a mistake. We had the chance with Mount. It's been quite an equal game. Reese's had a lot. I think he's pissed, but he says he loves me. Zuteng says, I like Evans, but why is he still getting minutes? We need another centre-back. But he's getting minutes because Maguire's got a knock. Martinez isn't here, and Yoro's injured. So this is what will happen in the season. I'm starting to like the kit, but will we have Snapdragon at the back of the jersey in the Premier League as well, says Shihim. Don't know. Honest answer. Don't know. I've got a bit of a break going on here. Something wrong with the ball. Oh, he's done a drop ball. I like Johnny Evans as a fifth choice centre back, but at the moment he's fourth choice, isn't he? Because we've only got 4 centre backs. Oh, that should have been a goal. Jadon Sancho's got to do better there. I mean, he's not a striker, is he? But he has got to do better there. I don't know who put the cross in. I don't know if it was Mount, but Collier with the foul. I'd like to see that back. I bet Yoro... Sorry, I'm starting to like the... Shim says he likes the kit. I bet Yoro is fuming. We're cursed, says Joe. Yeah, they show the Collier foul back, but could have done with showing us the... Yeah, they show us it again. Show us the bloody Sancho chance. That's what we want to see. Who put the cross in for Sancho then? Was it Mount? I think Rasmus probably does score that chance. I think any striker gets it on target, but Sancho's not a striker, so I'm not going to be critical of him. Do you want Sancho to go because he fell out with Eric? Regardless, less of the club wants to sell him. We need to talk about Rashford, says Abdul. I don't really care if Sancho stays or goes. I think the bigger question is, do United want to sell him? I think they do. I think they want to sell Casemiro. I think they want to sell Maguire. I think they want to sell Lindelof. They can't sell players. I think that's the bigger argument, isn't it? They can't. It's not. I don't think United can sell the players they want to sell, which is not a good sign. Fabrizio Romano says, "Hi Mark, just farted. Thought I'd share it. Here we go." It's obviously not the real one. Do you think Sancho will start against Fulham? Says Mike. No. I can't see how he would start. I think, you're going to start. Here's Rashford, bit of space. He's actually done quite well against Barca. Holds on for it for too long. And it's gone over the bar. I can't see Sancho starting because Garnacho, Rashford, Ahmad, Xerxes. I can't see Sancho starting. European Trey says, Mount isn't good enough. Good save by the keeper. I mean, I think it deflected off Rashford here. But keeper tips it over for a corner. Have you seen a player like Wan-Bissaka before, says Isaiah? Weird question. I mean, I wouldn't say he's the best right back in the world. What's your opinion on Marino to Arsenal, says Luke? I would have expected Arsenal to go for something a little bit better. But it's been a weird transfer window, as we've seen. Here's Rashford on the back post. Good shot, just wide. Goal kick. I'll tell you what, Rashford's probably been our best player. He's been like, I was going to say, Dean, he's probably been our most lively player tonight. Been lively, definitely. But Liverpool on the break, how would we ended up like this? Wan-Bissaka with a good tackle. Oh, here we go. What a tackle. We can't let him go. This is the problem. We'll never progress. We're championing tackles when we need to be championing attacking. Here's Rashford again. Amas. Amas! Why does he ignore Amas every fucking time on the overlap? Here's Wan-Bissaka. Oh, corner. Jordan says they keep booing Rashford. Anyone know why? Probably Liverpool fans. Probably Liverpool fans. Another corner for United. Well, I think we've done all right, going back to that comment before, but 7 shots to 2, as you can see in the stats. But we've... they're not really good chances, are they? They're all, like, shots edge of the box again, aren't they? And, you know, not looking for the final pass. Channel YouTube says Rashford has been just a golden boy since the 1960s. I don't know what that means. Hi, Mark. I feel the attack is lacking an elite anchor. We have Bruno in midfield. He needs help. Just an observation, says Sky Dancer. And Beryl Carpenter says, just this minute purchased your book. I'm very excited, says Beryl. Thank you very much, Beryl. Hope you're doing well. Well, they've just shown the Wan-Bissaka tackle again. I wish they'd show the... I'm going to have a sit down for a bit. My calf is starting to hurt now. It's all right standing up, but I'm now getting injured. So let's just do it in... let's just work up to doing it full half. It's pre-season for me as well. Oh, God, you can... Trouble is, if I stand up a lot, my back does start to hurt as well. So I'm going to have to just do little bits. What's happened to Gore, Mark, says Sean, the Irish lad? He's injured. Injured. Bye, Martin Coldwell. Do you think Man United can get the press? This press is delicious, says Rambo. Billy Welch says, do you think we'll start with Bruno up front with Rasmus out? Thought we played best at the end of the year with him further up the field. Well, I mean, we could do. It worked against Man City. We could do it next week, definitely. Good point by Billy, actually. We might use Bruno as a false 9 next week and then play Mount behind. And then start the season doing that. I mean, I'd be a bit disappointed in that, though. What's the point in buying Xerxes if we're not going to use him? But Rashi looks lively and up for it, but tragic passing. I'd like to see him use Amas. I've seen Amas overlap a couple of times now, and he doesn't use the pass. There's no doubt Rashford's been our best player, but there are still traits of last year, isn't there, where he's holding on to the ball for too long. Mount is good. Not every player has to be a star. Otherwise, we understand, like PSG, Ahmad's the best, says Dawid. Corner to Liverpool here. Xerxes back at Carrington, mate. He didn't come on the tour. Ice Cube. United clear it to the edge of the box, but Liverpool still have it. That cross is crap. That's going for a goal kick. For Anana. Can't wait to see Xerxes in this lineup, says Ashi. I mean, to be honest, can't wait to see Xerxes. I mean, I've not seen that much of him. Franklin says, do you sincerely think we can make top 4? Well, I certainly won't be making my mind up on a pre-season tour where we've seen barely any of our first team. I mean, look at that team there. You've got Martinez, Yoro, hopefully De Ligt, Delo, Luke Shaw, and that's just in the back five. You've got hopefully Agate, Mainu, Bruno to come back in the midfield. You've got Garnacho, Rasmus, Xerxes to come, Bruno to come back in the attack. So I can't judge whether we're going to get top four on what I've seen in pre-season, but I think that's, as a Manchester United fan, that's the minimum we should be asking of this great football club every season anyway. Collier is very quick across the ground, but he can't quite get the tackle there. 29 minutes gone. Liverpool leading 1-0. Wouldn't be unhappy with United, to be honest. I think Ten Hag will be very happy with Collier, you know. As much for what he does off the pitch. Oh, lovely ball into Salah. And I think he was offside. Do you think Onana is good enough? I don't trust him, says Mike. Alex says Goldbridge. Okay. Thanks for all the super chats tonight. Ahmad's shown he's a creative winger. Plays good passes, says Olatunde. And Seb's goalkeeping says, Mark, what do you think about the new signing from Crystal Palace, Samuel Lasale? Don't know if you've mentioned him as well. Another player for the under-18s. Future is quite promising. He's a winger. Yeah, look, him and Obi Martin look really exciting. You know, and as we know with Ten Hag, if you're good enough, you'll play. Amas is 17 and he's playing. So these two young lads coming in, the young lads we've already got, you know, let's hope that they can develop and become part of our future. Because, as I said the other night, you know, Kobe Mainoo saved us 80 million quid. If Collier and Amas can come through, they'll save us another 80. So, Chris MUFC says Shaw update. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking about with Luke Shaw. Like, it's the second time today I've been asked about Luke Shaw update. He played in the Euros. Played in the Euros final. He's back in training next week. He's been on holiday. I don't know whether people think he's injured or something. Mark, can you call Sanju a prat, please? Says Simon. And channel YouTube says, do you think Man United will end up like AC Milan soon? I tell you what, can we stop talking about the decline of Manchester United? We've just been taken over by Ineos. We won an FA Cup 2 months ago. The transfer window's not closed, and we're on pre-season with barely any of our first team. What's all the negativity about we're going to end up like AC Milan or we're not going to get top four? Like, there is zero evidence for any of that at the moment other than negative prediction. And Arna gets hold of it. I think we're in a better place. Look, the last 10 years have been shit. Horrible. But we finally got the right people in the right places. Like, we've finally got a director of football. We've finally got a footballing CEO. I think that there's no guarantee. We're coming from a long way behind, but we should start to improve over the next 2 or 3 years. And that improvement should start this season as well. Dadden says, do you think these players will get 60 minutes or 45? Oh, no, they'll definitely come out in the second half, mate. We're past that stage of pre-season now where you change your team at half-time, thank God. But I hope he gives them longer than an hour, but it might just be an hour. Ooh. Reese says, who's doing the best in your opinion? I think Rashford's probably been our best player. Again, I think Amas, Collier and Ahmad have done quite well. Nice ball out to Ahmad by Rashford. Here is Ahmad. Cross back into Rashford. It's overhit. Kaylin says, I'm having trouble keeping the girlfriend satisfied, Mark. Tips? Need more information, Kaylin. What are you trying? Well, the weather's looking good in North Carolina now. Look at that sunset. Chris says, Mark, like many here for years, I can't watch us play without putting it on mute and putting you on. Thanks for everything you do, and your book is brilliant. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. Thanks for buying the book as well. Do you think these players, Paul Brook as well, welcome to the Members Club. And Zach says, watching Onana kicking it long right to Liverpool is 50 million well spent, says Zach. And I've tried to get the signed copy of the book, but it's not an easy one to get, so I'm ordering the normal one, says Chance. Thank you very much, Chance. Thanks for being a member for 20 months. You're a legend. Yeah, I think, as I was saying, I think Sancho's struggling out of position. He's not a false nine. I think we've seen him last year in the tour do quite well as a 10, but you know he's struggling as a 9. I mean, obviously, when you're playing Lindelof and Evans, you can't play higher up the pitch as well. We've not spoken about that. Channel YouTube says, hands down to the best YouTuber in the UK. An honour out, please. And Isaac, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. You ain't been talking over, you've been bought into big difference. Ineos has a say in some structure at the club. Hold on, Liverpool are on the attack. And Arna does quite well. BC says, you ain't been taken over, you've been bought in to. Big difference. Ineos has a say in some structure at the club. Not all still glazers have major say, says BC. Liverpool are in here, so I'll come back to you in a minute. Oh, 2-0. Fucking hell. That's just shite defending, that is. That's just too fucking easy. Too easy. Defence is crap. Absolute crap. But you know what? Looking at that defence, like, Wan-Bissaka's going to West Ham anyway. Johnny Evans is 5th choice. And Lindelof needs to be sold as well. I mean, how do they score from there? They shouldn't be scoring from there. We've got 3 red shirts ahead of this cross. Nah, that's just crap. Wan-Bissaka's got to do better here. Nah, it's a crap goal, that. That is crap. It's a good goal for Liverpool. It's a crap goal to concede from United's point of view. You know, Wan-Bissaka cannot let Curtis Jones get ahead of him there. I mean, Mo Salah, I mean, you can't criticise the cross. He's one of the world's best players, in my opinion. But, fucking hell, both these goals. Literally was talking about that 2 minutes ago, wasn't I? How deep the defence is playing, and that gap again between defence and attack is massive. Seeing it again, it's like last season. Look how deep the defence is, and then the attack's trying to press. Look at the void between the defence and the attack. It's bloody massive. You know, we've got Rashford and Sancho and Ahmad trying to press high up, and you've got a defensive line deep. And it's fucking just, you could park a fucking jumbo jet in our midfield. There's so much space there. Until we start playing a higher line, this is going to be a real problem. Katie Creedy, thanks for super chat. Why did Casemiro jump up, says BG. Danny on the gas says era's come to an end. United and Liverpool fans all mixed together. The atmosphere sounds like a Girls Aloud concert. No Premier League games in the US. That would be sacrilege, says Pilgrim. David says, first chat, you're an inspiration to me. Help me to be a better person. Signing after the obvious. This is David W. And Michael Cunningham says, I think people need to cut Onana a bit of slack. He doesn't have his ball playing centre-backs, Shaw, Delo or Agate. Hard to play out from the back without those players. I agree. Brian's pre-ordered the book, but didn't get it. I'm in Canada. Hold on. Liverpool, another cutback. Well done, Collier. Check in Canada, mate, because I think there's delays on when it's coming out in Canada and the States. Top 4 prediction this season, says Di. Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United. What's your first memory of Man United? It's his name. Well, it's easy. I spoke about it in the book. I'd say my first memory of Manchester United was watching VHS tapes that my granddad had. Done that. Hi, Mark. Slightly off topic, but I think the girlfriend is going to break up with me. Any tips? Congratulations on the book, says Mitt4D. She's going to break up with you, mate. Probably get used to reintroducing yourself to Pam, or I say Palm. Are you worried about what's going on in the UK? Says UT. Yeah, I'm not getting involved in that, thanks. It's a football channel. I'm not Gary Lineker. I'm not Gary Neville. I don't do politics. I'm here because of football. Can't really judge the defence here. Positive moves going forward. Throw in Bruno and we're looking quite good. We know the problems, but got to get behind the team. Cheers for all the shows, says Jabo. Thank you very much. And the back four is Sunday League quality, says Mike. Brian says, okay, thank you. And it's going to be a long season, says Just Football. We're fucked. Defence and sent CDM. Here's Sancho. Another bad pass. Dion. Can't see our midfield anywhere on their defence. The gap between the defence and the back four is and the attack is too big again. Sell to buy is a farce. Glazers out, says Anders. Rick Gannon is a prat, according to Sam. And Duncan AI says, are there any needless to say I had the last laugh anecdotes in your book? Needless to say, no. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Nearly 30,000 tuning in at 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday. You're absolute legends. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe to the channel. We were only about 5 away from 905,000 and we are on the road to 2 million now. So thanks everyone who's tuning in. Man United losing 2-0 here to Liverpool. Not surprised. Some people called me negative when I said that I expected Liverpool to beat Manchester United tonight. But actually, I don't think we've done badly. Here's Collier. Does well. Good shot. That was actually good play. I don't think we've done badly. I think we've defended badly. But look at that. 8 shots to 4. Both had 3 shots on target. It was a lovely ball by Amas into Collier, and he's hit it quite well. It's a good save by the keeper. I mean, that's Amas and Collier. It's a lovely link-up, and he's a bit unlucky there. Look, I think with Amas and Collier, if they were like 25, you'd say a couple of mistakes, certainly on the second goal. But for a couple of young players that are learning their way, you're going to forgive those mistakes and you're going to look at the positives. You know, they're young players. They're learning their craft. We said before the game this is going to be a big test for Amas against, you know, one of the best Premier League players there is in the game at the moment. Lindelof is trash. Why is he even still here? Till we get rid of players like him, we would continue to struggle, says Chi. Ivan, welcome to the Members Club. Lindelof giving the ball away and having no sense of urgency to get back is the reason he needs to do one, says Ronaldo. And let's hope this helps with the urgency to buy, says John. I was excited for him initially, but Onana is so bad it's worrying, says Sebastian. And if Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka are on the shop window to help with the sale, they are not doing any favours. I agree with the Onana statement. No defence, great keeper, says Paul. Here's Sancho into Wan-Bissaka. Just a bit clueless in the final third, aren't we? Like, there's no real sense of coordination or chemistry. Here's Ahmad. 2 minutes to go to half time. Rashford. And then a weird pass by Casemiro ends up back with the goalkeeper for Liverpool. Paul says, I don't get why some fans are mad about the sale of Wan-Bissaka when Mazraoui is a clear upgrade. Thank you, Paul. Give Harry Amas a season and his confidence will come. Think he's got great potential, says Dean. I just think some people talk about him being the starting left-back for Manchester United. And I think, really, as a young player, same with Collier, they're just going to have to be in and out of the team. That's just the way it's going to work because, you know, you've got to... They're going to make mistakes. They're going to have good games. They're going to have bad games. They can't be key players. They've just got to be fed in like Garnacho was. But there's a lot of potential there. Liverpool got a free kick here. I don't think it's a shooter. I live in Bath. Ordered the book on Monday. Any idea when it might get delivered? I hope it won't take more than a month because I'm relocating, says Shubham. No, you shouldn't be waiting a month in the UK, mate. You should be getting that pretty much straight away. If you did it on Amazon, you'd probably get it the next day. That's what happened with me. But yeah, in the UK, you shouldn't be waiting that long, pal. I think that is half time. I think I'm getting a bloody cough again. I had some sort of allergic reaction. I think it's to Liverpool. Man United's defence has certainly had one. Beth's in the ground. She's just tweeted, I think United have been good going forward and shown some promising signs, but it's way too easy to play through us here. A few Liverpool passes and they are in. Absolutely agree with Beth on that one. I think that what we've basically seen here is exactly what we saw last season. Is that, I mean, Seta says Maguire's better than Evans. I don't think it really matters, mate. I think you make a very good point that leads me on to a better point. I don't think Harry Maguire comes into that team and makes a blind bit of difference. He's still going to play a deep line. So is Lindelof and so is Evans. I think Manchester United's centre-back roster is a fucking joke in year 3 of Eric Ten Hag, who doesn't want centre-backs like that. He tried to sell Maguire last summer. He couldn't do it. He's trying to sell Lindelof and Maguire this summer. He can't do it. He wanted Kim Min-jae last summer. He didn't get him. He wants De Ligt and Branthwaite as well as Yoro. He hasn't got them. Our defensive roster is shit. And if Sir Jim Radcliffe or Sir David Brailsford don't figure this out, then we have got no change. Liverpool are playing Kwanzaa and Konate, and they can play a high line. Man United are playing Lindelof and Evans, and they won't play a high line because they can't play a high line because they're too slow. So we've got Sancho and Rashford and Mount and Ahmad trying to press high up the pitch, and Collier is supporting that press. Then when Liverpool play through that press, you're straight at a back four that's on the edge of the box. And this was the same problem that happened last year. This huge space in the midfield of Man United because the attack presses, but the defence has to play deep. So if they bypass the press, you're in against the back four. If we're going to press high, you've got to have a high line defence. And we just haven't got the centre-backs to do it. And that's the problem that we're facing. So Lindelof and Evans, you put them in a bloody Everton team or whoever else doesn't play a high line, they'll do quite well. But our defence is just too... We've got the wrong profile of centre-backs. Maguire's not the right profile either. Yoro is. Martinez is. That's it. We need more than De Ligt. Simple as that. Dull says, just watch them. Sancho and Marcus always walking. Standout laziness. Is it just me seeing it, says Dull. Fair play, we stink. Worried about the season, says Alex. If proof were needed, new number 6 and centre-backs needed, says Steve B. Well, look, I'm looking to see the goal at half-time again. But you know what? For all those people that want to keep Casemiro and Wan-Bissaka, have you woken up yet? Or have you fell asleep? Because I'm telling you now, if you want to keep Wan-Bissaka, why? He made a good tackle on Jota. We didn't mark up for the second goal, did he? And he can't do anything going forward. We're not meant to be a defensive side. And even though he is good at slide tackling, he's crap at defending crosses, and that was shown again. Wan-Bissaka does need to go. And we need a more attacking right back, because we can't create fuck all down that right-hand side with just Ahmad. We need more than that. So that's got to happen. And for everybody that wants to keep Casemiro, he's a yellow card every bloody tackle he makes. He's 32. He's on 350k a week, and he's inconsistent. So why do you want to keep him? Like, if he was on 100 grand a week, I'd keep him. But we can't keep somebody on 350k a week who isn't even able to get hold of a game against Liverpool in pre-season. He just can't do it anymore. In his first season, Casemiro used to grab hold of a game. He can't grab hold of a game anymore. And if he can't grab hold of a game, why are we paying someone 350k a week? He just can't do it. So I think at the end of the day, we know some of the problems. Centre-back, massive problem. Right back, we need to be more attacking. Casemiro, I just don't think he's up to it anymore. But bigger problems for me, Jadon Sancho is not a number 9. So I sort of feel a bit bad for Sancho because you're playing him out of position. And it certainly wasn't a very good half from him. But I find it hard to be critical of Sancho when he's playing out of position. I think this happened to him in pre-season last year. I think he did quite well when he played as a 10. But I'm sure he played as a 9 and he really struggled. Mason Mount, you need more. Bruno Fernandes will be watching that thinking, well, I don't need to worry. I don't need to worry at all. I wouldn't say Mason Mount was shit, but he's got to grab the opportunity more than he does in a Man United shirt. And, Rashford's probably been our most lively player, but as somebody said, lively but predictable. Ahmad's probably had his most quiet game on pre-season. And I think Collier and Amas, whilst they've made mistakes, they're youth players and they're not established first-team players. And I think you've got to look at what they've done positively over where they might have made mistakes, because I think they have been positive. So, but it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, even the stats of the game will bear that out if we have a quick look. There we go. More or less 50-50 possession. We've had same shots on target. We've had more corners. Our passing accuracy is about the same. So, yeah, I just think, you know what? It's only pre-season, of course. We can't go to town too much. But I do wonder if we did have, let's say, Yoro playing at centre-back with Martinez, which I know is not possible because one is injured and one was on the tour. But if we could actually play the way we want to play, do we concede those 2 goals? Do we create more chances? I mean, it's almost like we're half a team. We've just got to figure out that we can't fucking play with slow centre-backs. Nobody in the top 4 is doing it. And, it's a problem. Casemiro can't win the second ball. No new midfielder equals fucked, says Arshan. Matt T, welcome to Members Club. You're a legend. Kelvin says we don't have a striker. Why not use Wheatley? Sancho is a waste of time in that position. Arnie Slot says Mino. Keep Casemiro after he refused to play. It's so sad, says Ben. Fans being critical of Amas and Collier is ridiculous, says Michael Cunningham. We can't expect every young player to integrate as quickly as Mainu. Casemiro needs to go. Yeah, I'm not having any criticism of Amas and Collier. It's bloody ridiculous. As I've said before, people tried to do this to Garnacho when he was 18. I don't really think you understand what Man United is as a Man United fan if you're going to start taking a pop at 17-year-olds and 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds who are coming through the youth. It's just, I mean, God knows what you would have done to the class of 92 when they first came through then, because they didn't just drop in 96 and win the double. They'd been playing cameo games for about 3 years before that, and they weren't always good. So, all this... I saw somebody say Collier's not ready. I mean, fucking hell. How's he going to be ready then if you don't give him games where he can make mistakes? I mean, I'm just watching the goal here and, he misses out on the tackle with Salah, but it's Mo Salah, for God's sake. I mean, what Wan-Bissaka's doing on the back post, I just don't know. It's just shit defending, really. But as were Juve fans, Rabiot isn't ideal, but Athletic, says P. Bugs. I've been watching for years. My first super chat, says KN. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your support. Why can't we buy shitty fast centre backs at worst case, says Noah. Hi, Mark. I'm Venezuelan. United stand is the thing keeping me sane while my country falls apart. Thank you and congratulations on the books, says Andre. Thank you very much, mate. I never believed in this before, but I think our problem is spiritual, says Channel YouTube. How can the best team in history depend on this manager and keeper? This isn't Ajax. Says, okay. Wan-Bissaka's crossing is as shaky as your agendas, Mark, says Austin. I don't have any agendas. And why do you think... well, presuming wanting to sell Casemiro is an agenda, wanting to sell Wan-Bissaka is an agenda, wanting to sell McTominay is an agenda, wanting to sell Lindelof is an agenda, I wouldn't say they're shaky, mate. So if you want to play the game, I'll play the game back. My agendas, and they're not agendas, they're opinions, are all pretty strong, mate. I'm not saying sell Bruno and fucking Rasmus, am I? Why did you think Ineos admired Southgate, says Brody? Oh, I'm not going there. Proof, if proof were needed. Why are we talking about Southgate? I think it's just negative for negative sake that we don't need to talk about Southgate. Liverpool look really sharp, unfortunately, says JM. And Sriram says neither defence, bar Amas, nor CDM provide any passing angle and look nervous with the ball. We need to pass it more on the ground instead of trying long balls, says Sriram. I mean, this is a great point as well. It's a great point. We talk about slow defenders having to play a low line and the problem that makes for how it makes it very easy for teams to get at us. But what we don't talk enough about is how uncomfortable people like Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans and Victor Lindelof are in receiving the ball under pressure. In the modern game, Brighton defenders like Lewis Dunk can receive the ball from the goalkeeper under pressure and play out from the back. Not only have we got defenders that want to play a low line and causes problems, but they're also not very good at receiving the ball either. You make a great point, Sriram. They don't want the ball. And that makes, that makes two problems. One, they don't want the ball. And two, they play deep. So it's double jeopardy, isn't it? Whereas, Amas is quite happy to have the ball. We know Luke Shaw's quite happy to have the ball. Martinez will take the ball. I'm sure De Ligt will take the ball. Varane used to take the ball. Delo will take the ball. So yeah, it's a double issue, and it's well highlighted. Duncan says 4th of August, and the only player we've sold from last season's squad is Kambwala, and negotiator Matt Hargreaves is from Arnold Murta era, by the way. Get your bike side out of that chair, says Outdoor Adventures. I will do in the second half. And Jordan says, watched you for ages, mate. Love what you do. Thank you very much, Jordan. And Cook says, any big club like Real Madrid would be thinking of selling Collier and Amas right now. Just ignore him. Casemiro hasn't lost a yard. He looks like he's lost a leg, says Adrian Armstrong. And Amas has looked solid against a winger the quality of Salah, says Bram. And Little on quality says, Collier and Amas have been better than the seniors. And Franklin says, I fear for the club this season. I mean, what I will say, Franklin, is, and I said it in the first half, is what are you scared of? I'd need a little bit more information, because what is it you're scared of? We're losing 2-0 to Liverpool in a pre-season game where, if we're being completely harsh, Sancho needs selling, Casemiro needs selling, Wan-Bissaka needs selling, Lindelof needs selling, Johnny Evans is our 5th choice centre-back. From that team on the pitch tonight, Amas and Collier are going to be bit part players as they develop. So there's only really Marcus Rashford and Ahmad on that team, and Onana, that will be anywhere near the starting lineup. And even one of them will probably be on the bench, Ahmad or Rashford. So Mount's going to be a bench player as well. So I wouldn't be looking at this and going, I'm worried about the season ahead, because you've got so many players to come back, and hopefully we can still do something in the transfer window. The only reason I'd be worried about the season ahead is if we're going to use a lot of these players that are on the pitch, because they ain't good enough. Simple as that. Casemiro at his current state could make any midfielder look bad, says Paul. Who would you start in defence first Premier League game, Mark, says Joe? Well, I'd certainly buy De Ligt and play him with Martinez. That's what I would look to do, yeah. Whether we're going to do that, though, I don't know. I feel like Onana is trying a bit too hard to show people he's a ball-playing goalkeeper, says Dennis. Well, it's hard for him to do it when he's got the defenders he's got in front of him. Jordan says, Wan-Bissaka and Casemiro needs to go. They're unreliable. And Also, Casemiro's looking like Iggle Piggle out there, says Little on Quality. Casemiro is not just a United top earner, he's in the top 10 earners in all of Europe. Let that sink in, says Jimmy. Appreciate that. Thanks for your super chats tonight. Thanks to all the new members as well. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how long he keeps this team on the pitch for and how long Slot keeps his Liverpool players on as well. Remember, we do fly back straight away after this game, so hopefully that means that we can, get the old team back together, training at Carrington, and make a bit of a movement in the transfer window. Congratulations on the book. Must be proud, says P-Bugs. Thank you very much, mate. Well, I'm very, very, very grateful to everyone who's bought it and downloaded it to listen to, so really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Just another thing achieved by this great community. So, yeah, very, very happy that people are enjoying it and buying it. So, really appreciate that. Ishan says, I joined the channel when there were 20,000 subscribers. Great content. At the game, Salah looks sharp. Amaz has good potential. Lovely to hear that, Azan. And I hope you're enjoying it. Izan. We'll be better in a year. Those contracts are done, says Parker. And Sean says, Casemiro looks like he's suffering from our low back line and has this is shown last season. The first season he was praised because he had the support. Well, Sean, I've mentioned this before. Martinez, massive player for Casemiro because he's close to him. And it's not easy being a midfielder in Man United's midfield when you've got a slow defensive line like that. We know that. So, I'm not saying that Casemiro would be back to his best if we had those players, playing, but I do think it would be a little bit better for us. But it's tough. It's tough. There's no doubt about it. There's some big decisions that should be being made by Man United, and unfortunately, we were talking about this before the game. I don't for 1 minute think that Man United would sell Rashford, but even if they wanted to sell him, there is no one there to, imagine if Man United desperately want to sell Rashford. No one's going to buy him. So he stays. What's different about that with Casemiro? Like, Man United clearly do want to sell Casemiro, but there is nobody who's going to buy him. So what do you do? McTominay is on in the second half. I think I saw Fish on as well. And why is he making changes at half time? Why is he making changes at half time? Yeah, we've only got one more game in pre-season. Why are we making changes at 45 minutes? Now's the time to start giving everybody an hour or so. Bennett's on, not Fish. Ashworth and Co. getting a bird's eye view of the problems, says Terrence Roberts. Scotty, Will Finish and Bennett are warming up, ready to come on according to MTV. Thanks as always for your hard work, says Chris. Well, we're obviously changing the two centre-backs then, aren't we? If I'm Bruno, I ain't sweating it seeing Mount and my Lord Casemiro just Bambi on ice, says Jacon. Has our Turkish goalkeeper played any minutes this tour? He's not even on the tour, Matthew. He's at Carrington. I don't know why he got an extended break because Turkey got knocked out quite early, but he did. Here they come out for the second half then. So I don't know who's. I think he might have took. Has he took Sancho off yet? He's either took Sancho, Rashford, or he might have took Rashford off actually because of the knock. But I definitely saw Collier and Mount and Casemiro. So McTominay's got to have come on for Ahmad, Rashford or Sancho. Which is probably not a bad idea really because it wasn't working with Sancho, was it? I'd have been more concerned if he'd have taken off one of the midfielders for McTominay, but if it's for an attacking position. This match shows that Liverpool depth is better than ours, says Gandos. Wan-Bissaka's still on anyway. Please don't get injured. Imagine if he got injured now. You'd be absolutely gutted. Gutted, I tell you. Be absolutely gutted, I tell you. I tell thee, I tell thee. Right, I'm going to stand up in a minute. Get ready. I hope you're all smashing a like on the video, by the way, and subscribing for the only debut that matters tonight. There's levels to my shelves. You'll see in a minute. What happened to Vitek and Will Yoro's injury delay his Olympic debut, says Sebastian. 1 sub for Liverpool, by the way. Let me just get the stats carousel rolling around. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We were very close to 905. I think we might have hit it, but I will double check. Yeah, we've gone well past 905. We're on the way to 906. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the channel. Man City next Saturday afternoon for Manchester United. But hopefully, we'll have a lot more activity going on this week, transfers-wise, in and out. Shake it all about. It looks like Rashford came off then, because I think Sancho's still on. Is that Sancho or Rashford? My eyes are terrible. Yeah, it looks like Rashford came off, didn't he? Yeah. That's just precautionary then, isn't it? What's going on? I'm sinking. I'm drowning. Ah! Help! Save me, somebody! Save me! I'm out. Right, let's have a bit of a stand up for a bit. So Bennett and Fish at centre back. Let's see if we can get that line higher up. And McTominay playing as the striker now, I suppose. With well, no, I think Mason Mount's playing on the wing now. I'm sure Mason Mount's gone to the left. Looks like Mason Mount's playing left wing and McTominay and Sancho are still playing centrally. Keep an eye on that. If Mason Mount's been moved to the left wing, what future has he got at the fucking football club, really? Yeah, definitely gone to the left wing. I mean, I'd be worried about that if I was Mason Mount. If I'm being moved to the left wing in a game like this so that McTominay and Sancho can play centrally and we haven't even got Bruno here, I'd be like, what chance have I got of getting in the fucking team? Yeah, and Arna's there for that. Steve Nicol just said, even with top players missing, this has been a competitive group of games. How long into Ineos involvement before you're competing for the title, says BC. Don't know, mate. I can't talk about that when I haven't even seen what United are all about. I think that this year's got to be about getting in the Champions League. Year 2's got to be about staying in the Champions League, and then year 3, I'd say, hopefully we can start competing. So I'd say, 10 years of torture in relation to trying to be a title contender is not going to be solved in 12 months. Probably not 24 months. So I think 36 months, you'd hope 3 years, you might be in a position where Arsenal are now, where you can compete. Colin says, imagine what the physio have for you on a plane immediately after a game. What a nap that would be. What happened to VTech? Yep, I've done that one. Thank you very much. Thanks for all those super chats, everybody. Appreciate it. I think we've caught up there. Oscar says Fisher's looked decent over these few pre-season games. Well in, Amas. Needs a bit of help. Well done, Mount. Nice by Collier. McTominay does better as well. Well, I'm just hoping with Bennett and Fish we can push up a little bit. Because we certainly didn't do it with Lindelof. And lovely play by Ahmad. Needs a bit of help. Sancho go wide. Shoot! Shoot! Shoot, Casemiro! Oh. Mark, do you think our physios are good enough, says Franklin? I don't know. I don't know, mate. I don't know what we're doing with the physio department. I don't know whether we've changed any of it. I don't know whether we're planning on changing any of it. I certainly think we need to change some of it, but lovely play by Ahmad there, though. The bright spark of the tour. Favouritism FC. If this is what we're going to do in the league, playing Sancho and McTominay, kiss top four goodbye. It's Conference League at the best, says Jackie Boy. Well, he needs to fucking sell McTominay, doesn't he? If he wants to buy Agate, he's got to sell. He's got to sell him. That's where your money's going to come from, isn't it? Good play by Ahmad again. McTominay. Nice ball out wide to Amas. Mount. Shoot! Oh, for God's sake. Now Liverpool come away again. 3v3. On the break. Salah. And Arna catches that. We can't play good football with these players, says Matthias. There's a foul on McTominay. Don't get injured, mate. Want to sell you to Fulham. Well, he's got Anthony Eriksson, senior pros on the bench that will probably come on at some point as well. Sam says Mark's got to stand to stay away. No, I'm looking forward to this in the season. I'm looking forward to like proper games standing up. Why Eric Ten Hag's playing players we're going to sell, says Parker. I can't say I disagree with you, mate. I don't understand why Wan-Bissaka is played tonight and Wednesday, and yet we're meant to be selling him to West Ham. Amas does quite well. Needs help. And gets back with Kelleher. Ow. Robbo says, Mark, just noticed something interesting. When going on to Man United app, it asks who's your favourite player is. It already had Yoro, etc. But still has Amrabat, even though he's not technically here, says Robbo. Didn't they used to have something about Greenwood, though, like, as well, when he was suspended? It's probably just not been updated. Lovely little flick by Liverpool there, but good interception. I think that was... I don't know who that was. He's given a foul anyway. Good tackle, Amas. He's had a good game, you know. He's had a good game. He's grown into it. I'd say Amas is probably our best player. Casemiro again. Sloppy pass under pressure. Oh, it's not Kelleher in goal now. Well, I'm not a Liverpool fan. Couldn't give a shit. So, sorry. I'm not here to get Liverpool players right. Sorry about that. Well, I'm not sorry, actually. Who's that in goal? Jards or something? just trying to think if we've got anything on the bench that might change it a little bit. Struggling to look threatening again, aren't we? Liverpool coming on the attack again. Nice little through ball. Casemiro didn't really track the run. Oh, I think he did track the run, to be fair. I just don't think he's got the legs. Hi, Mark. I'm missing the lads doing the Irish commentary for RTE. Those were the days. Feels like it's gone to pot the past few years, says Jonathan Landy. Well, it was good when I lived over there as well. Giles and Brady and Dunphy. Do you agree that Man United really need to sign a new centre-back and a centre midfielder, says Cloudy? Mate, I think we all agree with that. Another bad pass there out from the back. I don't know whether that was Casemiro again. But Wan-Bissaka's got it now. Here's Ahmad. He's kept it in. Well done. Into the box. Needs a pass. Needed a pass there. I don't think the movement was there. Wan-Bissaka. Got to be a foul, surely. Surely. Our best 11 against Fulham, if we don't sign or sell, is Onana, Martinez, Evans, Shaw, Dalot, Casemiro, Mainoo, Bruno, Garnacho, Sancho, Ahmad. Horrible. This is Jackie Boy. Here we go. Oh, he's missed. McTominay, 2 bites of the cherry. And he missed it. I don't actually think he's done anything wrong there. I think it's good defending, but let's have a look. I mean, it's a lovely ball in by Amas again. First one's a good tackle. Second one looked like it was a good save. My daughter Sage keeps asking why does Casemiro keep giving the ball away and she's only 10, says Dino. And also, Mark, what's your rate out of 10 that deals will finally get done after this ridiculous road tip, says Canna. And Zup says, I'm so bored of watching Casemiro misplace passes. There will be some deals done this week, mate. There's no doubt about that. How many, I don't know. They're in again. Here's Salah. I think we're definitely trying to play a bit of a higher line because Salah's just got in behind the line there. So Terence says, do the top earners feel guilty having their wages? I doubt it. Please go to Fulham. Please go to Fulham. Anthony's coming on. Please go to Fulham. It's not that they're terrible. It's just they're just not good enough, are we? We've seen it all before. Anthony's coming on. Big season for him. Another absolutely dog shit pass by Casemiro. Good play, Ahmad. Switch it. Lovely ball. Go on. Mount. Sancho. Oh, God. £80 million gold-plated fidget spinner, says Parker. Callum Harris says, don't talk too much about Wan-Bissaka being poor, Mark. Personally, I think he's been brilliant and West Ham should get him immediately. Yeah, I agree. I think he's had a great game. I've just realised I've completely got it wrong. And McTominay was very unlucky with 2 wonder tackles from Liverpool, to be fair. Otherwise, he'd have scored 2 goals. Jackie Boy says, they're stealing a living out there. I'd get rid of everyone that's on more than 200k a week. Nobody is close to being worth that much per week, says Jackie Boy. John says, this tour has been awful. A makeshift side due to the Euros hangover. We haven't learned anything and we've picked up 2 terrible injuries to key players. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, mate. I mean, I always look forward to the tour, to be honest, because it's, I mean, there's even a section in my book about the pre-season tours. They're a little bubble, aren't they? But you know, sometimes you just don't get anything from it, and I don't think we've took anything from it. We've not bought anybody, we've not sold anybody. The squad that we've used, I mean, I think Ahmad, Collier and Amas would be positives, but do the positives outweigh the negatives? And the negatives, like you've said, are no transfer activity, using the same players we always use, and 2 very, very significant injuries. This will be a goal. Fucking hell. Absolutely fucking rubbish again. Who the fuck are they? 3-0. Fucking terrible. I knew that was a goal before it was a goal. I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, should Onana do better on the chance? Again, it's Wan-Bissaka's man tapping it in, but am I being harsh? I mean, it's good passing by Liverpool. I mean, Salah's probably offside in the Premier League, but it's minimal. And, you know, I'm sort of looking at Casemiro's lost his man again. Fucking Casemiro loses Jones again. That's Casemiro at fault as well. Curtis Jones is his man. He just lets him go. People want to give this guy the holding role for Man United. We will fucking struggle next season. We will struggle big time next season if he's going to be our holding midfielder. Oh, it wasn't Curtis Jones. Who was it then? Looked a bit like Curtis Jones. Who was the guy who had the shot? Thinking of Fulham shitting himself, says Matthias. No, not the person who scored. The one who had the shot just before it. I know Tsimikas scored. No, he looked like Curtis Jones. The one who had the shot before the goal, the one who Casemiro didn't fucking mark. Oh, it didn't look like Curtis Jones. If it was Jota, I must just be tired. Free kick to United. Just not picking up midfield runners again. Cameron says, I think Monday will be busy as United are attending the transfer deal day. Byner also there. What's that? Hi Mark, random question, but do you have a favourite dish? Can be English or other cultures, says Paul. Lasagna. Definitely lasagna. Cross coming in. And just headed wide by Fish. Emil, thanks for your super chat, mate. Appreciate it. Enjoy the game, Mark. I'm going to get some cheeks, says Parker. Told you, says Sancho's doing well. You tell yourself that, mate. Wheatley's on. Just had a chance. Didn't see who Wheatley came on for, actually. Yeah, he's hit that quite well, Wheatley, to be fair. Good save by their keeper. And then Casemiro with a bit of a flicked header as well. Do we still have to do penalties? No, that was just for the Arsenal game, Flash Talks. Thank God for that. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Lots of subs are happening now. Why did we get rid of Varane but keep Casemiro? Says Duke. Because Varane was out of contract. You made a good point there. Casemiro would not be at this football club if he was out of contract this summer like Varane. He'd be gone. He's only here because he's under contract. Watching in South Africa. Shout out to Dylan, please, says Emil. And Joseline says, will you prefer United win today and lose in the Premier League? I couldn't give a shit about pre-season, mate. Is the answer to the question. You don't get any points for winning pre-season. I just think I'm just not. It doesn't mean anything really, but you can't brush. I think the thing you can't brush under the carpet is that some of these players who are playing tonight shouldn't be playing for us next season. I think that's the thing I would say that you can take from this is that there's a lot of players on that pitch being paid good money who shouldn't be at Man United anymore. And probably will be. And that's the worrying thing about this tour, is that there are players on that pitch who shouldn't be at Man United. Ahmad came off. Mount came off. And I didn't see who else came off. Was it Collier? I think Collier came off. Let's have a look. Oh, it's gone now. Let me go back to that. Yeah, Wheatley's on. McTominay, Sancho, Anthony. Yeah, he's kept Casemiro on. Well, why would you take him off? He's having a worldie. Anthony replaced Ahmad. Thanks, Chris. Point out what Sancho is doing wrong like Casemiro, says Abdul. Why are we talking about Jadon Sancho? Tell me why we're talking about Jadon Sancho. I think Sancho's been average. I wouldn't say he's been as bad as Casemiro. I mean, somebody said a few minutes ago he's had a good game. I don't know how he's managed to do that when he did sod all in the first half. I mean, he's been better in the second half, but I don't know how you can have a good game when you were MIA in the first half. But he's had a better second half. But I wouldn't say he's cooking Sancho FC. Watching this in Finland after the club, says Jerp. Thank you, mate. Zoldberg says, 2 a.m. question. Why did you start the channel as Soccerbox specifically? Were you intending to build it for the North American viewers? Much love, mate. I don't remember if this channel was called Soccerbox, mate. I remember I started on YouTube with something that was like a piss take sort of general football thing. And then I started doing match reactions for United and I preferred doing that, so I just did that. Mark, how does the number of viewers tonight compare to regular league games? Is it higher or lower, says Philip? Oh, God. At 2:15 in the morning, Philip? I mean, it's lower, isn't it? We normally get about 70,000 for a Premier League game. Great graphic design, says Scarecrow. Didn't do those, thank you. And that's not how you spell the name, so I don't know who that is either. Will cooking with Goldbridge ever return, says Paul Simons. I'd love it to return. Having the time to do it is always the problem, isn't it? Yeah, I'd say on a normal Premier League match, we normally have anywhere between 40 and 60,000 watching. I mean, 26,000 on a pre-season game at 2:15 in the morning is exceptional. It's an amazing community. Stuart Walker says, I'm so sick of seeing the same dross as last season. Mate, I completely agree. It is scary. I'm just going to start making some notes for the match reaction. I'm assuming we aren't even going to try and win the Shield. Nothing's changed, in my opinion, says Stuart. Would you do another walk-in with Goldbridge, says Graham. Salah's just come off for Liverpool now. Man, I love doing all that, but I just don't get the time to do it. I mean, I've had to say no to some stuff next week because it's just me on the United stand next week, so... I don't not do those things because I don't want to do them. I don't do them because I don't have time. Half our players are clowns, says Leaf, and nobody's laughing. Oh, God, what's this? Is a bloody stretcher out. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, my God. This is a bad injury. I feel bad for this person if it's Fish or it's Fish or Bennett. I can't tell. Well, it's definitely looking bad because they're wrapping his leg in... Yeah, it's not good that. He's in a leg brace. Eric Ten Hag's come over to him. It's Fish, isn't it? As long as it's not Wan-Bissaka. Well, Fish has done okay on this pre-season, to be fair. And, it'd be somebody who'd be looking to... Maybe he wouldn't be part of the first team, if I'm being honest. But he would certainly be looking for a loan deal. I hope you were Whisper screaming for offside like I. Harry Amas playing a decent game despite his leaders. What a player, says Sohail. Will you be on the fill-in this season, says Dino. Well, you've got to be asked first. I mean, I don't think I'll be able to do it every week, but I wasn't doing it every week last season, so... Outdoor Adventure says it's 8:16 where he is. Jerpa says, online fans think about watching pre-season game after 4 in Finland after the piss, says Jerpa. United's physios need to be criminally charged, says Danny on the gas. I mean, I actually do want to say it's bad luck, but Calvin says, thanks, Ericsson. A lot of people saying Ericsson caused that. I mean, I want to say it's bad luck, but the sheer volume of injuries. I mean, has any other club in pre-season lost three players in a week? We've lost 3 players in a week, and this is what was happening every week last season. I don't think it can. Well, it just can't be bad luck. We were doing this last season. You're averaging a bad injury every week. It's just unsustainable. Witz says, when did you realise you'd become a celebrity? I don't think I am, mate. The media will be having a field day later, says Terence Roberts. Oh, mate, yeah. But I don't think United fans take any notice of the media anyway, do we? We don't, do we? We don't listen to bloody Talk Sport or Sky or the journalists. We're not interested in all that shit. I mean, that's just people running an agenda. I mean, it's pre-season and we're missing most of our team. The concerning thing is not being able to sell some of this shit. That's what worries me. We need to get rid of this club doctor we got from Arsenal, says Paul. And Danny on the gas says it can't be bad luck when it's consistent. Exactly. Number 7 shirt curse. They really just ask Yaya Toure. This is Parker. They real. Maxwell says, am I the only one tired of Casemiro? I really don't think you are the only one, mate, somehow. I really don't. This should be the last time we tour the US, Mark. There's something sinister about it. Too many injuries, says David Ezzy. We're only 100 subscribers away from 906,000, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I tell you what, not that I'm disagreeing with anybody, but just for the next 2 minutes, can you give us some positives from this game? I mean, I think there are a few. I think I actually think Amas is a positive. Look, he's definitely made mistakes. There's no doubt about that. He's not been flawless, but I think for a 17-year-old to play against Mo Salah and a well-drilled Liverpool side, he's done more good than bad. So I think I'd be pleased with him. I think across the tour in general, Ahmad and Collier have been positives. Yeah, probably about it really. Rashford looked decent in the first half as well, but Liverpool own you, says David. Well, let's see what happens at Old Trafford in the third game, mate, because I think any proper Liverpool fan will not be giving a massive shit about pre-season 3-0 if we beat you at Old Trafford. They're in behind here. Over the bar. We're going to be stuck with 6 players. The wages are too high, says Parker. ESPN is purposely not showing the Man United substitutions, but show all the Liverpool subs. The agenda against United is utterly ridiculous, says Paul Antonio. Jerp says, have you been to Finland? No, I would like to, though. And do you like quiz shows like University Challenge, says Scarecrow? I used to watch it a little bit. And what has the Doctor to do with this, says Casper? Well, he's the guy who's sort of probably in charge of it all, to be fair. Greetings from St. Louis, Mark. You are doing great on the midnight shift, says Mike B. Thank you very much, Mike. And Rob Costello is watching as ever from my stand-up desk in Pennsylvania. I tell you, it's a game changer, mate, having a stand-up desk. I mean, it's nice for the watch-alongs, but even like when you're working, you just change and have 10 minutes standing up. It's good. Duncan says, is it possible that our style of play is actually causing these injuries? Well, some people will say yes, right? Some people will say that clearly the style of play is causing the injuries. It's all the intense sprints you've got to do back and forward. And maybe there is some truth in that. But riddle me this. Why don't Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal get all the injuries then? Because they're sprinting back and forward as well. They're pressing high up. They're sprinting back. So, I don't not acknowledge the fact that, intense running can lead to muscle tissue injuries, but it's not like we run, we don't even run as much as Arsenal. We don't run as much as Man City. We don't run as much as Brighton. So these prats who say, oh, it's the training, it's the running, well, we don't run as much as anybody else. So, my answer to that would be is, have we collected a bunch of players that can't play this style of football and therefore are prone to injury? Probably. We've got players that want to play counter-attacking football and their bodies are probably used to counter-attacking football. I think we pick up a lot of injuries because we've got players that don't suit this style of football as well. And I said that last year. So, yeah, maybe some of our players do get injured because of the style of football we try to play. But that's because we've got the wrong fucking players. Adrian Armstrong says, my dead gran would do better than Ericsson. Tiptoe says, one positive, it's our last pre-season game. Kieran G says, Liverpool are cheating. At least Wan-Bissaka's okay. And Sheriff says, Onana is shit. I don't get the people defending him. Aside from the point he doesn't have better centre-backs in front of him, the guy does not have a minimum of goalkeeping qualities. He is in the wrong bus. There we go. To be honest, I'm pretty relaxed about that because, as I've said to you before, I said before the tour, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Casemiro, Ericsson, McTominay, Sancho all need to be sold. I don't change that. And how many of them will get sold before the end of the month? Probably not half of them. But if we truly want to progress, all 7 of those players need replacing. And if you don't replace them, then you run the risk of jeopardising next season. Simple as that. It's just true. And Casemiro's played 90 minutes and he's been trash. It's been a really poor performance. And he's played a lot of games in this pre-season as well. Played a lot of games. A lot of people saying that Casemiro's a problem. Oh, here we go. Wan-Bissaka. Oh, he's got something in his eye, don't worry. Thought he got bloody injured then. I was panicking. Jerpa, welcome to Members Club. You're a legend. And Outdoor Adventures says, Mark, I'm ashamed to say that I normally do not watch during your game watch-alongs because every time I do, United never win. That's Outdoor Adventures. And Duncan says, I don't mean the excessive running is causing the injuries. I mean our last-ditch tackling and hospital passing injuries caused by teammate incompetence. Love your book, Mark. Been watching since 16,000 subs. What a journey it's been, says James. Thank you very much for buying the book, James. You're a legend. And thanks for being part of the community. Only 3 players on the pitch that haven't come through the academy, according to United TV, says Chris. And do you see the geezer punch that bird in the boxing, says Peter Boothroyd. And Rogine said it last season to you, Mark, they are probably overran in training. Everyone can build endurance, but slowly there is a point where muscle strengthening turns to muscular breakdown. Well, they're not up to it then, mate, because I tell you what, people are working a lot harder at Arsenal. So we've got the wrong fucking players, mate. What we're going to do, just not bother training them and we can all park the bus and play counter-attacking football. Get rid of the fucking players. Simple as that. If they can't do it, get rid of the players. Stop making excuses for the players because, oh, they can't do it. They can't do it whether they get injured or not. A lot of them can't do it anyway, so fuck them off. Fergie99 says, Mark, if you block me, I will stay and fight for my place in this chat. This team is still miles off, and if Ineos can't see that, we're in trouble. And Neil says, Mark, what's the point of pre-season if players like Casemiro... Oh, for fuck's sake. What's wrong with Wan-Bissaka here? I don't fucking believe it. What's wrong with him? I think it's his eye, isn't it? It's all right. It's his eye. He's coming off. I think it was something. I think it was a head injury anyway. I don't think it's any. There was nothing wrong with his legs. Neil says, "What's the point of pre-season if players like Casemiro and McTominay will still get picked even after such a dismal performance?" Says Neil. Rogine, they can do it, just not right now. It will take time for them to build the endurance. If you try to rush it, you'll end up with injuries. Says Rogine. What time are you getting up tomorrow, Mark? Says Shay. I'll be on the 10 o'clock show. Well, it's Sunday. I might do it a little bit later, but I'll be on the morning show. Thanks, Shay. Didn't even realise Anthony was on the pitch, by the way. Just note to self. 77,000 attendance. Cunny makes a great point. If you're on the verge of selling Wan-Bissaka, why is he playing 90 minutes? I don't know. I said I wouldn't have picked him against Betis, let alone Liverpool. Sign this, Mark, says Stephen. And does anybody know what Ten Hag's preferred pattern of play actually is? Even of another season, and there's no sense of what we're trying to do. Another year of moments, says Andy. And even Roy Keane is quicker than Casemiro at 52, says Terence. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. Yeah, I'll be back on the morning show tomorrow. Got some really, actually, got a couple of bits of content to get up on the chat. I might wait till Monday. Really, really sort of interesting bits of content I want to put up. Only 70 subscribers away from 906,000, by the way. Thanks everyone who's tuned in tonight. Got a match reaction coming up after this. And here's Anthony into McTominay. Yeah, just bullied out of that, really. Just that's why he's not a striker. He's just not quick. He's not got the feet. I tell you what. Kudos to me. I've had a good stand up, haven't I? Been up for most of the second half. You should call me Viagra. Can you do a poll? Keep Sancho or Anthony, says Mohit. No, because I know what we've done it. You're just doing it because you're a Sancho fan. I'll tell you now, it's like 90% Sancho. We've done it before. It's not even a good poll. Mady says, do you think they will blame it on Ten Hag if things go bad this season? They can't sell players and haven't bought enough in. Yeah, I think so. The press will be blaming it on Ten Hag after this. Remember Liverpool lost every pre-season game the season they won the league. Anthony, Sancho, McTominay and Casemiro need to go, says Jackie. But apparently Sancho's had a good game. I thought first half it was a close game. We made a mistake on the first goal, and the second goal. Second half, lots of changes, but the problem will be if you don't have, the problem is what the problem was last season. We need a proper number 6, and we need proper centre backs, and we will not be able to do anything until we sort that out. Mac, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. And Benny says, what do you think the problem is with Casemiro? Is his head just completely gone? I think if we knew what the problem was with Casemiro, it would be, you'd be able to solve it, wouldn't you? I mean, is it just as simple that he's 32? I mean, I don't think 32 really is an excuse. When you think about some midfielders that keep playing, is he just not emotionally invested? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, the easy answer is he's 32 and his legs are gone. But I don't know. Back passes, last-ditch passes, passes without looking, long misses passes. When will this nightmare end? I want to be positive, but they're not helping, says Sheriff. Will we end the season with Van Nistelrooy as coach, says Les Van? Mate, I've got to be honest. I think those sort of conversations are incredible. Absolutely incredible, because it's pre-season and most of our good players aren't here. So, I get the Ten Hag crew starting all that up, but I mean, if that's seriously starting up after tonight, it's laughable. If you are Viagra, then I'm glad you went down before 4 hours, because I would have had to take you into the hospital, says Outdoor Adventures. Oh, we've had chances in the second half. McTominay should have bloody scored. Anthony looked super keen when he came on and chased down a lot, but he's clearly getting frustrated at not getting the ball down that side. He's barely had a touch, says Jabo. Really hope he can adapt this season. And Winter Archer says, McTominay gets sold to Fulham, plays against his first game. We will regret it instantly because it will be his best ever pass completion for United, says Winter Archer. I'll tell you what, I genuinely would not be scared of McTominay playing for Fulham against Man United. I mean, famous last words, but I genuinely wouldn't be. MUTV commentators love praising McTominay, says Bex. Mate, MUTV commentators would praise a Man United player if they scored a hat-trick of own goals. Like, they're just propaganda. Like, what do you expect from a channel that is run by the club? They literally would get fired if they said, that's a bad pass by McTominay. It's a shame he can't pass the ball. My dead gran could pass the ball better than him. They just can't do that. If you're looking for level-headed punditry, don't listen to MUTV, because it's quite rightly propaganda, isn't it? Collier subbed, Casemiro playing equals starting over Casemiro, says Hitton. And hopefully Wan-Bissaka is not badly hurt and ruins the transfer, says Kevin. I don't think he is. I think it was something facial as well. Casemiro is checked out mentally, just wants the money, says Azaya. Watch No Face says, Mark, I really need some Here We Goes tomorrow. I don't know whether you'll get them tomorrow, mate. I don't know whether you get them tomorrow. I don't know how many minutes are going to get added on here. Ancelotti spoke on a podcast recently of how at Madrid they barely do intense training when they have busy schedule. I recall Pep saying the same as well, says KC. Yeah, but the reason they don't do it is because they've already got players that are used to doing it. I mean, that's like saying Man United shouldn't do intense training, but they don't know how to play intense football. So you've got to get them doing intense training to make them play intense football. Man City don't need to do intense training because they already play intense football. So it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? And also he's not allowed to sell certain players. So look, until we start getting rid of the shit and replacing it with players suitable for the way we want to play, we will continue to struggle. I mean, the overarching thing tonight is the same thing we were saying last season. It's the same thing we were saying under Mourinho. It's the same thing we were saying under Solskjaer. We don't get rid of the shit. And until we get rid of the shit, we can all find excuses about coaching and training and injuries and all that. But the bottom line is we're still using players in 2024 that should have been sold last summer and definitely should have been sold this summer. And until we start doing that, we're never going to progress. And people sort of like, it's almost like you accept we're not going to sell players. So you start looking for other reasons for it. And the bottom line is Eriksen, Casemiro, McTominay, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Sancho, they all need to go. I'd move some of the under-21s to the senior team, says Jackie Boy. Everything else will hopefully fall into place. And Rob says, highlight of the tour. The missus was pissed with me for watching live streams of the Hawk Tour girl. Turns out it was... Oh, yeah, I'm not reading that. Says Rob Costello. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going back down to level 1. Got to do match reaction, and I'm not doing that standing up. And I think that's the final whistle. Perfect timing. Absolutely perfect timing. Right, well, look, that concludes the US tour for Manchester United. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Absolute legends, the lot of you. I'm going to go and record a quick match reaction, get that up, and then we can get away from America. Thank you very much for having us in the States, but it's not been a good tour for United, and there's a lot of work to do. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Have a fantastic evening. I'll see you on the morning show live, and I'm going to go and do a quick match reaction now. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you.